back again. YouTube still deleting videos, and if they delete enough, they just ban your account. So we're going to hope that they stop acting terrible at some point, and then we could feel safe to upload there. Until then, we'll stream everywhere else, and truthfully, we're just going to keep streaming everywhere else anyway, because why not reach more people? And you know, why reward a company that's relatively terrible in case of YouTube? With me here is Litecoin Moses. Is your name Moses? Is that how you got the name?
No. I just got that because it was just some old little thread and stuff from like early 2017 when I was buying like Litecoin at the time, right. and I was telling people like this thing's gonna go to like $200-300 for sure, and then I had some like random guy on Twitter just say like you're guiding us through the fucking the Red Sea and some shit. So it just stuck. So I just like, oh, fuck it, Litecoin Moses. Why not?
You didn't feel like changing your name after Charlie Lee dumped on your head? Sold the top on
really.
you?
I heard the explanation he kind of said and everything. Like, I mean, I wasn't really butthurt about it. I mean, I heard some other. I mean, there's a little conspiracy theory that like he basically got a fucking knock on the door, like, hey, you need to fucking sell your shit on this coin, or we're gonna come after you. And like, I don't think
that's how law enforcement works. I don't think they say you need to enrich yourself right now. You need to get paid right now, bro. I don't think that's
it's more like he's like get kind of get yourself off of this sort of thing, because I heard the same thing about Dogecoin and stuff like
I don't believe any of that shit.
Palmer Jackson, I think that's the name of the Dogecoin founder. Like, name, yeah. Well, I mean, he basically was just 100% the Dogecoin, and then he did a fucking 180. And
when people sell their bags, they get hateful, man, because they feel like they missed the boat, right? If somebody sells their bags and it keeps making new all-time highs, they just stay like perma-hateful. So you'll see that from Mike Hearn, who ejected, said it was a failed experiment, I think back at like 1100 or something. You see that a little bit from the brown dude from South Africa that made Civic, Vinnie Lingham. Yeah. He called the top at like, I don't know, 680 or something. And then, people like called him the counter oracle forever, right? Because you could get rich counter trading and stuff like that. And
NBC.
Well, that didn't exist back then. That's only a year or two old. So when people sell their bags, they get hateful. They get super hateful because they want to think they sold the top. And when it turns out that wasn't the top, man, they're just angry. I have a problem with Charlie Lee because, he says stuff on Twitter that, sounds like an expectation of profit from the work of others. So he says, hey guys, we're adding confidential transactions to Litecoin. Price goes up. Shit never gets added. No one's even working on it. Okay, well that sounds fraudulent as fuck to me. I don't like that, right? Do you ever see me go on Twitter and say, hey, Hex is adding this thing? I never do that shit. I do the opposite of that. I don't give you any expectations of profit. I don't give you any expectations of work. I'll tell you what the price has done. I'll tell you what is in the past, but forward-looking statements, I'm not making them, right? Like, it just disgusts me that there's guys out there getting rich, selling the profit from work of others, and then having the audacity and gall to insult other projects. You're like, wow, guy that sold the top, lies about what's being done, profits from it, shit talking other projects. Okay, interesting. Maybe you should upgrade your ethics.
Well, they are still working on Nimblewimble on Litecoin. It's just fucking taking forever, but they are doing.
Bro, confidential transactions is easier. Why not do that first? And you said that you're going to do that. I don't think they're working on shit. They don't even have money to do any dev, bro. They're broke. They're out of money.
On the foundation side,
they're out of money. There's nothing happening.
That's probably like the only. That's probably the only thing. Like, I don't know what's going on that front and everything like that, but pretty much it's like it is Charlie kind of funding it on the side and everything.
Well, it's real easy. It's an open source project. You go on the fucking GitHub and you look at how many commits have been done in the last couple of months. Now let's go take a fucking look. Here, let's pull up the old Chrome here.
I don't think they posted on GitHub, but they posted on something else. But
so they don't want the free help. They have no developers, but they're not interested in the free help by posting the shit publicly. And if it's not public, how can you trust? Like, I don't buy any of this shit. It's all fucking bullshit, man. I don't buy it. All right, let's take a look here. Commits. There was a commit yesterday, and then the last commit before that was February 19th. And the commit that was yesterday doesn't look like anything good.
Bill Burkett. I think it's probably Bill Burkett. Yeah.
I don't. This April 4th commit that has like 4 line items, I don't see anything good there. So that means February 19th, which is like, man, that's a fucking year ago. February 19th is more than a year. No. March, April, May,
2019?
June, July. Yeah, 2019, bro.
Oh, 2019.
That's fucking a year and 2 months ago. So the last bunch of commits to this Litecoin project on GitHub was fucking 2 years ago, and this is the #1 result for Google. So I doubt I'm getting the wrong repository.
No, not on GitHub. Yeah, you're probably right on that front and stuff.
I don't know, dude. I mean,
yeah. I know they're still working on it and stuff because like the thing with Litecoin and everything is you know, it is a copy of Bitcoin. I mean, that's what it is, and like, so I mean, they pretty much add anything.
But Bitcoin, no, they don't. Bitcoin's doing all kinds of shit. Bitcoin's making mad fucking releases, dude. Bitcoin just released a bunch of tested, able to be forked in, Taproot, Graftroot, and Tab script or Schnorr script. That shit's like already there. There's none of that in Litecoin. This shit takes months to test. Like, you can't just, I don't know, dude. Project's fucking garbage. Let's check the price. Litecoin trading view. By the way, guys, don't pay for fucking trading view. If you want any of the cool indicators or whatnot, just copy that shit off the internet. Search for it. You'll be able to paste it in the Pine script editor. You don't actually have to pay for this garbage. You pay $300, $500 a year for something, you just fucking lose money anyway on top of that. Imagine if you'd bought coins with your $300 or $500. I feel the same way about events, live events. Imagine how much more money you'd have if you'd skipped the $1,000 Bitcoin meetup in 2011 and instead just bought fucking Bitcoin. How much more money would you have?
Was it Consensus or something? Yeah.
Consensus is a Ethereum thing.
Oh, is that Ethereum? Oh, okay.
Yeah. No, there's no
what's
Bitcoin
the one? What's the big New York one? I remember they did some big one in 19 or 2018.
Well, I mean, Consensus usually is in New York, I think. But
is in New York?
Yeah. I think everything's gonna be canceled this year because no one wants to die of COVID.
Yeah.
Or 5G. If you listen to the fucking retards on Twitter, it's 5G that's killing everybody.
Aren't they saying that, like, supposedly, like, this is like the big, like, the conspiracy theory is like everything's shut down right now so they can put up the 5G towers?
Bro, whose phone even has 5G? I got the newest goddamn most expensive phone you can get. That shit don't got 5G on it. So what the fuck good is a 5G tower to me? My phone don't talk it. And neither does anyone else's fucking phone. Like, maybe if you live in South Korea, maybe your phone talks 5G. Maybe. Yeah. I mean, people are so goddamn stupid. I'm going to get into how I think you have some stupid ideas, so we're going to get to argue a little bit. I think you're a conspiracy theorist, and I'm going to fuck you up, and it's going to be fun. We're going to see. All right, so I'm looking at...
Which ones?
I'm looking at Litecoin's price here, and I'm just going to scroll back to 2020. So in 2020, it went up, along with everything else. Okay. What is this? 80, 90%? Almost 100%, nice. And it dropped with everything else, 65%.
What on
it's not the worst thing in the world. Well, no, everything just dropped half over this COVID shit, right? So right. It's not the worst fucking thing in the world. I've seen worse charts. It's not that horrible. So yeah, let's. So we could talk crypto. We could talk conspiracy theories. We could talk COVID. Yeah. Talk anything you like.
Let me see. Let's talk some of this. Let's talk some of this COVID stuff first.
Sure.
Since it's like it's on the fucking headlines right now.
Okay.
Like, I know you posted a lot of stuff about the, about the death rate or at least the contagion of reported going up. How it's just increasing exponentially. Like you talk.
It doubles every 3 days.
Yeah.
The deaths doubles every 3 days.
Oh, the deaths. Oh, I thought that was confirmed cases.
The cases may be increasing. See, here's the problem with measuring cases. If you don't do any testing, and then all of a sudden you do a lot of testing, all you're measuring is how much you stop sucking at testing. That's all you're really measuring, right? Okay. So, for instance, if you only do one test and that guy has COVID, all right, well, what's the likelihood everyone in the country has COVID? Well, probably pretty fucking high if you chose a guy at random. But if you didn't choose the guy at random and you only chose a guy that was already sick, so that particular metric speaks more to how much testing you're doing. Now, in some countries, they've tested so many more people that you have a much more realistic picture of how many people have got it and where it's spreading and where it came from, things like that. So Germany, for instance, South Korea, Singapore, they've done a lot more testing per capita than anywhere else, basically, except maybe China, which I think China did a lot of testing, because the countries that are already ready for this are the ones that have already been through SARS, because this is just a SARS virus. SARS-CoV-2 is the virus that causes COVID-19, the disease. And it would have been called the SARS disease again, except they didn't want people to think it was like the last SARS, because it operates totally differently. So they didn't name it SARS again, but it actually is SARS, basically. So, and you can read about how they decided to name it that, and I tweeted about it on them. You can read about what decisions they made. So,
do you think some of the big miscommunications between all these viruses is because they're so interconnected? Like people, the big thing people saying right now is like, oh, like coronavirus is on fucking Lysol bottle or whatever. And I'm just going off of what like people are saying.
Well, because it's along with a million other things. So they would just want to tell you their stuff's really effective at killing things. So they just list all the things it kills, and that's just a lot of stuff. I think it kills plague as well. Okay, cool, great, right? So does bleach, right? Bleach kills everything too. So the problem. There's this thing in science called a falsifiable thesis. If you don't have a falsifiable thesis, you can't do science. What that means is, what is the test that you can do that would make it so that you knew whether you were right or wrong? What is the thing that would make it so you knew whether you're right or wrong? And so the falsifiable thesis, the test that I give conspiracy nuts, is how many fucking body bags have to be filled with people before you understand, believe, recognize that there's some shit that's killing the fuck out of these people that's new and different, which is why the morgues can't bury them fast enough. You can't, there are ice rinks full of dead bodies in Spain because they can't, the system is not designed to handle a 3x and 4x in throughput. It's designed to work at just-in-time inventory. It's designed to work with skeleton staffs. It's designed to be extremely efficient, which is great for profitability when things are going good, and horrible when things are going bad, because you have no stockpile of goods. You have no stockpile of masks. You have no stockpile of medicines that come from countries that aren't shipping to your ass anymore. You have no extra beds in ICUs. The UK has 5 times less ICU beds per capita than Germany has. Well, guess what? Germany's going to do a lot better in a disease that needs fucking intensive care than the UK is. Period. And this doesn't have to do with conspiracies, or it doesn't have to do with anything. This isn't the first time we've had fucking pandemics. This isn't something that needs to be man-made. The nature's creating shit all the time. Look at all the weird animals it creates. People didn't make the weird animals. The weird animals fucking made themselves, right? The system made them. Nature makes all types of crazy fucking diseases. Mankind doesn't need to do it. The animals are already taking care of that. You know? So, and by the way, if China was trying to kill everybody, well, why would they warn us? And why would they stop it trying to spread? Doesn't make any fucking sense. It doesn't make any sense. How likely is it that this is some type of conspiracy when countries that are enemies with each other both take the same action, right? So Russia and the United States fighting over certain parts of the Middle East, both taking the same action. China and the United States, arguing about stuff, both taking the same action. Cuba and the United States arguing about stuff, both taking the same action. Enemies, political enemies, geopolitical enemies, they're all taking the same action because for once they're listening to the goddamn scientists. For once, unlike every movie you've seen with a world-ending cataclysmic event or apocalyptic event, the government doesn't listen to the fucking scientists until they have to. Well, in this case, they tried to ignore them. They said it's just a flu, bro. And then the fucking ICU started filling up, the body bags started filling up, and they're like, oh, it's not just the flu, bro. Oh shit. It's different. It's not just SARS. It's way more deadly. It's 10 times more deadly is the measurement. And that's for young people. So if you're a young person, it might have been 20 times more deadly for young people. Let me check my math. It was about 10 times. So if you're a young person, the chance of you dying if you get the flu is 0.1%. If you're in your 20s. If you're a young person in your 20s and you get COVID, your case fatality rate is 20 times higher at 0.2. So it goes from 0.01 to 0.2%. Now, if you look, that's for young people.
Yeah, that's for young people.
But the problem is that you get an average of like 2% or 3 or 5 or 1, depending on how much measurement they're doing, right? If they do more measurement, the case fatality rate goes down because all the people that were asymptomatic get thrown in there. Great, right? But that doesn't affect how many dead bodies you get. So you could start measuring your pets and then you get your case fatality rate down. You could start measuring aliens and get your that's not what matters. What matters is all the dead fucking bodies. Yeah. And that dividing by a larger or smaller number doesn't affect how many dead bodies there are. Right? So if you get this and you're older, it's like 8%, 20%. And this, here's another thing that super pisses me off. People just measure the death rate. I don't fucking care about the death rate. Okay, if I die, okay, I'm out. No big deal. Fine. Yeah. But if I lose permanent lung capacity for the rest of my life because I got sick and then recovered from this terrible shit, or if I have to stay in the hospital for a fucking month or a few weeks, that's bad enough for me to not want to get this shit. I don't want to go to the hospital. And we're dealing with something like 20% hospitalization rates. And when they say go to the hospital, they mean like, look, you're not going because you want to. You're going because you have to or you'll die. And if you don't get oxygen, you'll die. And then if for some people the oxygen doesn't work, and now if you don't get a ventilator, you'll die. And apparently even if you get a ventilator, only maybe 40% of those people survive, apparently. So even if you get a ventilator, you're only 40% likely to survive. And that's, by the way, across everything. For anyone that ever needs a ventilator, apparently only about 36% of those people actually survive. I think they put you in like a medical coma to put the fucking tube down your throat to breathe without your body, getting in the way. So one, this shit is 10 times worse than the flu for death for young people. It's way, way, way fucking worse for old people. People that quote shit like, yo, but the flu kills more. Yeah, because it's been around longer. How many people per day is the flu killing right now? And how many people per day is COVID killing right now? COVID's up like 50x. These people say stupid shit, right? They say shit like, how about this one? Okay. Shooting yourself in the face with a watermelon cannon is less deadly than cancer. Well, yeah, because not that many people do it, right? It's just they're not doing it that much. That doesn't mean that the watermelon cannon to the face isn't fucking deadly, right? It is deadly, right? So people are just so fucking stupid. They don't understand the difference between a rate, which is something per something, and I've even seen the government and professional epidemiologists misspeak on this in public. Rate is something per fucking something, okay? The nominal number, the notational number of fucking people that are dying is what is important here and is what is overflowing the medical service. And people send me pictures of empty hospitals. And they look at the hospitals empty. Yeah, motherfucker, because we understand exponential growth. And we don't have empty hospitals now. We won't have any beds for anyone. So since the peak is coming and it goes like this, when it keeps doubling every 3 fucking days, how many beds do you think you're going to need in 20 days? A lot.
Fuckload.
Yeah. I mean, well, let's do the math, right? If you need 2 beds now, and then on day 3 you need 4, and on day 6 you need 8, and on day 9 you need 16, and on day fucking 12 you need 32.
32, yeah.
On day 15 you need 64, and on day 18 you need 128. Well, you just 64x'd in not even 20 days. So yes, we need 64x the fucking stuff, 64x the stuff in 20 fucking days. Less. We need about 128x the stuff. We'd be at 19 days using that math. It's real simple fucking math. Yep. We just did it right here on stream, right? Yep. So yeah, we need empty beds. We need empty hospitals now so that when we have 128 times the people to fucking deal with, we have somewhere to put them. And by the way, when those hospitals fill up, if you break your leg, you're not getting treated. If you get in a car accident, you're not getting treated. If you get in a fucking any kind of problem you get, once the ICU is full, it's fucking full. Doesn't matter how you're getting there. So
a bunch of accidental deaths that didn't need to happen just start fucking happening because you can't get into the fucking hospital. Which is so fucking true. Yeah.
Then I see other shit like, look, the flu isn't killing as many people as normal. Yeah, bitch, because we're on lockdown. All the other diseases are getting fucked up now. All the other diseases are angry at COVID for fucking their game up because they can't get out and infect anyone now. Because we're taking fucking washing our hands and social distancing and sneezing and shit more seriously. And all the viruses fucking hate that. So I'm on the team of less viruses, right? I'm on the same team Bill Gates is on. Bill Gates wants to cure the flu. I hate the fucking flu. I don't like global GDP being wrecked for a couple weeks every fucking year, right? It's stupid. Yeah. Fuck that. Let's get rid of it. He's working on that and spending billions of dollars of his own personal fucking money on that. And then I hear people demonizing him. The guy that warned us about this 10 fucking years ago. They're demonizing that guy. You're like, what? You know that guy could be creating a super disease and just killing everyone off for fun. Instead, he's trying to save your fucking life. And you're shit talking to guys trying to save your fucking life that tries to save poor people instead of rich people? Holy shit. Oh.
Yeah. Ooh. Yeah, and it is really scary too, especially if you have like grandparents or anybody that older in your life. Obviously, like I know that like, it's fucking this whole shit is fucking spooky as fuck.
The numbers go up so quick that if you're 40, you're fucked. You don't gotta be 60, man. If you're 40, you're fucked. And guess what? I'm 40, so I ain't exactly happy to be on the fucked side of the scale. And I don't want to go to the hospital. I don't want to have fucking breathing problems. I don't want any of that shit. I like my body the way it works right now. Right, I don't need any weird alien fucking thing in there messing everything up. So I get angry when people tell me about the economy, the fucking the shutdown's going to kill more people than the virus. No, it's not. They interviewed all the top economists, and all of the top economists agree that letting the virus run havoc would be worse. Because they think that there's a way out of this, like you're not going to get a recession or depression. You were due one. You get one every fucking 10 years. It's been 14 years. You were due. It's the all thing bubble. Everything's in a bubble. Remember when prices were real estate were too high and no one could pay their mortgages and the market crashed? Well, they went up past that old high, another 30 fucking %. Everything's in a fucking bubble. You were due this shit. But now the problem is you're going to have the bubble you were due deflating. And contraction, everything's going to contract. Nobody has income, so nobody has expenses. So nobody has income, so nobody has expenses. So nobody has income, and it's the opposite of the money multiplier effect, which is usually about 7 to 1.
Isn't that like a negative feedback loop?
It is a negative feedback loop, exactly. Yeah. And the government's doing the right thing, trying to print their way out of it. It is the right thing to do. It is the best thing the government could do right now is to give money to the people at the bottom. That's the best thing they can do because they're going to spend it. You know what the guys at the top do? They don't spend it. They just lock up more resources from themselves and entrench themselves, which is why the rich get richer and the poor get fucking poorer. You think a poor person is going to sit on that shit and put it in his S&P 500, fund? No. Yeah. He's going to fucking spend it on food or whatever, drugs or something. He's going to spend it on something that is another person's income. So
reinforcing his estate or whatever, or bugging out to fucking New Zealand or some shit.
Well, dude, he ain't getting to New Zealand. It's hard to get New Zealand without this. It was hard to get to New Zealand just during normal life. You sure as fuck aren't getting into New Zealand now. They don't allow anyone that's they don't care if you own land there or not. Like they're not letting you in. And most countries have done that now. Russia just shut off all airlines yesterday. They're not allowing any air travel in or out of the country without. Unless it's a commercial package, not humans, right? They'll allow exceptions for some people that are trying to return home, apparently, but who knows how Russian exceptions work.
So they did the same thing in the UK recently with flights and everything.
Yeah, and everyone's doing the right thing because people are too stupid to stop spreading this fucking disease on their own because they don't believe shit like, it's 4 days that you're able to transmit this before you feel anything, if you ever feel anything, because a lot of people don't. And so what are you? You're a super virus spreader. You're the best thing the virus could do. Joggers. Okay, how do we get the virus into other people's mouths? You breathe it. Okay, so how can we get guys to breathe more and then travel farther, breathing as heavily as possible? Well, jogging sounds like a good idea. Go breathe as hard as you can, as far as you can, and then what more could you do to spread the fucking disease? I guess jog through a more populated area.
And I'm starting to see a bunch of fucking people on bikes now too, like everywhere, and people walking their dogs still and everything. I mean, it's fucking insane. I mean, you kind of understand, but it's stupid. But you understand, like, I'm bored in my house, so let me go for a fucking walk. But it is pretty fucking dumb.
Well, the thing I don't get is like they think everyone else that got it was just a fucking retard or something. Like everyone else that got it, the million other people that got it, they were just way stupider than you. And you're able to do all the things that they did to get it, but you just won't get it magically somehow. Like, what do they think these people were doing? All of them were licking toilets? No, they were doing the same stupid shit that all these other stupid fuckers want to do that may think they're not going to get it. Right? Like queuing up at a distance to someone else. If you queue up in a distance, you're just going through everyone's germs. You're still going through the same people's germs. You're walking right through them. It's a constant stream of germs that are being created. I don't think that distance does fuck all. I really don't. Yeah. The face coverings does a lot of shit. And how long did it take for the government to pick up common sense that, oh, this works? Oh, it does work, yeah, because it obviously fucking works. Because the disease attaches to particles. And the particles attach to the shit in front of your face. So it ain't going to get all of them, but it'll get half of them. So you want to reduce the chance you get this shit by half? Wear any mask, basically. And it reduces the chance you give it to somebody else about 80%. No matter what it is. No matter what it is. Well, fuck, that seems like a good deal to me. You know what that does to the exponential growth when you cut it in half? Fucking lie it. It's really helpful.
I think the Japanese are pretty. I mean, I know the rates aren't that high in Japan, but they're probably gonna start ticking up. Yeah, they're getting there. Yeah.
He's gonna declare a national emergency tomorrow. Apparently, the head dude in Japan. Yeah, Abe
or whatever. Yeah,
I don't really know that much about Japan. I just know what I read on the COVID update forum. Like, this is what's going on.
Yeah, I just got some friends in Tokyo and stuff, and they're like saying like, yeah, it's not that bad over here, but like everybody's wearing a mask.
So here's somebody in chat. Has somebody much fear like Richard? My desire for power and strength and the cheap house prices I'll get because your dumbass fucking died. That's not fear. That's intelligence, right? There's a threat that I am responding to. Dumbasses like you that don't respond to threats, you're not fearful and you're not intelligent. You should be scared. You should be doing the right fucking things. What good is the? You know why fear exists in you? To keep you from doing stupid shit. When a big ass dude rolls up to you, angry look, you shut the fuck up if you're smart, or you're gonna be swallowing your teeth, right? Fear is useful, man. There's places for it, right? Courage is when you have fear and you overcome it. Stupidity is what you guys are advertising, which is, hey, look, all these body bags are filling up. Look at all the scared people. That's not going to happen to me.
Yeah.
Y'all stupid, man. I don't want to say you deserve to die, but if you're so fucking stupid that when the shit that you see on television actually happens in real life, that you just can't get it, you can't figure it out. How many apocalyptic movies you got to see? It's actually happening, man. The world shut down. You can't travel no more. It's over. It's over. But you pretending like it's not happening. Like it's not real. Motherfuckers are dying left and right. You're pretending it's not happening. It's not real. You're making fun of people spreading the message to try and save your dumbass life. I'm trying to save your dumbass life. This disease ain't getting me. I don't go outside. But I bet your ass does. That disease will fucking kill you. And some part of me wishes that just the people that don't believe in it are the ones that would die. That's the shit that makes me sad. It's that stupid motherfucker that'll end up immune. That stupid piece of shit that spread it across the whole world, that'll be the motherfucker that doesn't actually die from it. And every good, God-fearing person that does the right thing and not spread this shit, they'll be the motherfuckers that die from it.
Yeah. And then, yeah. It's real. I mean, like you were like one of the first people I also heard about that, like at least in the Twitterverse, that really was talking about COVID and taking it seriously and everything like that. Like, I mean, it was a big joke a couple weeks ago, and then I think when we started getting some of the first alerts on your phone, that's when people were like, "Oh shit, this is."
I was telling everyone how to pack food, man. I was telling everyone go out at midnight when no one else is there. That's when they're restocking. That's where you're going to run into the least people. Get the highest calorie density you can get. Get Nutella. Get canned meat if you want to keep your muscle mass. Have high protein. You know, you don't got to worry about these MREs that last 20 years. You don't need 20 years. You need about maximum 1 year probably, you know? And some people listen and they're better off for it. And some people, you know, they think they're smarter than me. Broker, stupider, fucking weaker. And then for some reason they ain't been right nothing on their entire fucking life. But now they're willing to risk your life and the lives of others and themselves because what? They think they know better than Bill Gates and Donald Trump and Richard Hart and fucking every epidemiologist and everyone everywhere that has any power at all is basically on the same page telling you motherfuckers to stay home, but y'all can't listen. It's like, damn, man. What did you need? What do you need? How many more people? How many more physicians in their full garb with scars and bruises on their face from wearing their personal protection equipment? How much more of that do you need to see before you realize that they're begging us to stay home because it's really fucking important, right? And you hear people cry, "Oh, but the economy was fucked anyway, dude. An extra million dead people in the streets is going to make the economy worse, I assure you. You can have lockdown before all the dead people or after all the dead people. Before is better. We could get a virus going. We could get a vaccine going."
Yeah. I mean, I think you probably know this already, but I mean, you already know that like all the baby boomers are retiring anyway, so they were selling off anyway. Like what was it, like 10,000 baby boomers are retiring every single day?
But they buy shit when they retire. They don't sell shit, man. Yeah. I don't know what you mean. Well, and that's when they deploy their savings.
Yeah, well, I thought that they start selling their fucking stocks and start buying bonds, right?
Well,
and then a lot. I mean, at least in my area where I'm from, right,
maybe
people are downsizing homes. You know, they were selling homes and stuff to get into smaller homes because they couldn't. You can't have like a 2-story house, especially when you're as you're getting older and everything, unless you have one of those cart things that can take you upstairs.
I mean, look, they missed their chance.
Yeah, well,
I mean,
a lot of them did, yeah. But
I mean, the stock market dropped 40% or 35% or something, and I think it's going to go lower.
Yeah.
I don't understand how people believe in a V-shaped recovery when we're all trapped at home. How the fuck? What V-shaped recovery? Where? How? Every service business is out of business. Every airline's out of business. They're all fucking done. It's over. So where's the V-shaped recovery come from? You can't start going back out again, or you start getting super disease progression again. The only way you can start going back outside is if you have antibody testing in green zones, and you have a pass that shows that you have the antibody, and it's got your picture, and it goes, "This guy has an antibody, so don't feel bad working next to him. Hopefully he hasn't been too stupid, and gotten some mutation of the disease," which you can't really control. And then you've had green zones where everyone's got a pass, and they've all been tested to have the antibody, so they all should be immune, so they all can work together. And then you could have global productivity again, like they've got in China, like they've got in Singapore, like they've got in South Korea, because they did a better job. The more authoritarian governments that have more compliant citizenry have superior outcomes in a fucking pandemic. But the freedom-loving, gun-toting, church-attending people that can't follow fucking directions get the living shit killed out of them in a pandemic because it appears that they're on the side of virus instead of common sense. They just can't stop breathing other people's fucking air. Yo, I'm streaming to you, 1920, 1080, clean as fuck. You look better on that screen than you would in person. And when I upload this shit, it's in 4K, right? So you could see me better and hear me better on this screen right now, talking to multiple hundreds of people at the same time, than if you were here in person. Use the technology that's been given to you, for fuck's sake. We've all got amazing phones that do amazing video and amazing audio. I mean, there's no fucking reason to have to be breathing other people's germs during a goddamn pandemic that is killing the fuck out of people. There's no reason for it. And to tell you the truth, there was no reason for it before the pandemic. Remote work is the best thing. People get into less car accidents. People pollute less. People have less transition time. They spend less on insurance. Everything's better. There's so many meetings that could have been emails. People waste a lot of fucking time doing shit they don't need to do, getting all dressed up and prettied up to go to some job where ain't no one looking at their ass anyway. They burn 15, 20% of their workday in transition to work. You could have learned how to sing fucking opera. You could have learned how to do so many other things in that 20% time that you could have saved without the transition. This work from home shit is actually going to improve the GDP of the world by at least 10%, for many years to come, because people got out of the habit of wasting time looking at each other over the water cooler, or hitting on the fucking secretary constantly.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of it's starting to change sort of things in schools too. Like there's a lot of kids that are taking classes now on Zoom with their teachers.
Good.
And they're being taught online, which is like, this is going to change the whole economy just on that and stuff. It's going to show people, it's kind of legitimize a little bit of like online schools now, because it's
Good.
like, you're going to have a whole generation of kids that are like, yeah, I remember learning fucking sixth grade math and stuff with my teacher on Zoom. And
you don't even need, look, you should be learning that shit from a better teacher anyway. Your video teacher that talks to you is not as good as a different teacher that the world has agreed is already better. If you go on YouTube and you find a guy that just teaches math on YouTube, he dominates your fucking local instructor. Dominates him. You're better off with the fucking YouTube guy than you are your local instructor. For real. Yeah. Like, education's fucked. That shit needs to be automated so badly.
Are you still working out during this entire time?
I just started it back again a few days ago. So today I did a few deadlifts, push-ups, and chin-ups. So,
are you more of a deadlift guy or a squat guy?
I hate squats. My knees don't like it. And the numbers I put up are gay. So I do a lot of deadlift, you know. I could do like 13 reps with 3 plates on each side. Okay, and that's like, you know, fucking a lot of reps. So if you calculate it, it's like, you know, 3 or 4 reps with 4 plates or some shit, which I haven't tried yet because I ain't trying to blow my back out in fucking pandemic. But yeah, you know, what I need to do if I want to be healthier is just fucking eat less. So it's just when you're a stress eater and there's stress, it's like, man, fucking hard to eat less.
Yeah, I mean, I have found it harder not to eat so much now because like I'm at home a lot now, a lot more now, and it's like, fuck, man, like you can't do shit. I mean, you get tired of fucking watching movies and stuff, and so you're on the fucking internet more, obviously.
Well, so, you just need to watch different movies, experiment. I mean, go through the IMDb top 200 at least. That'll keep you busy. A lot of different genres in there. So in summary, I want people to stop trying to get other people sick through stupidity. Stay the fuck home. Wash your hands. Don't touch your fucking face, etc., etc. Stop whining like a bitch about the economy being blown up. Economy was going to get blown up worse if you let the sickness ramp up faster and harder. Okay? Economy's wrecked. It's going to be wrecked no matter what. It's wrecked less with the changes that we're doing here with social distancing. It would be wrecked worse without them. And we're talking about, I mean, Donald Trump on television straight told you, hey, you know what? If we did nothing, 2 million dead. I think it was 2.2 to 2.4 was the numbers he gave, if I'm remembering correctly. Okay, well, that's a lot of dead fucking people in a country that's got 370 million population. Yeah. That's a lot of dead people, man. And they stay dead. That reduction in GDP stays for a long time. And then you got these evil motherfuckers that got no empathy that are like, oh, well, it was just old people. They don't matter anyway. It's not just old people. It's everybody. And why? And since when did being old make it so you don't have rights to live anymore? Is that what we're doing now? We're shooting old people? Because if we're doing that, I'm shooting stupid people and people without empathy. I'm going to be the guy that kills people without empathy. How's that? And then if you just can't be a good human being and you beat kids or you beat animals or you lobby for the generation that allowed you to exist to die, well, you can get fucking dead then. How's that? Oh, now you don't like the idea? Now, because it would kill you, you don't like the idea? Oh, this fucking... Yeah. Maybe this is why I'm so angry, is this guy deals with stupid so much. There's so much stupid on the fucking internet, I can't take it. It's unbelievable amounts of stupidity.
I mean, the only thing I like... there has been like this prevailing sort of thing. Like I noticed it first in the gold, like in the gold bugs and stuff like that. There's this kind of like this mental masturbation of like, oh, if the world, I want the economy to crash, so my gold goes up, and so I take control of the land. And I think you had talked about that before.
And here's the funny part. Well, go ahead. So they buy. Go ahead.
Okay, so I see that like that sort of idea sort of started going into crypto and stuff. Is like, oh, I want the U.S. dollar to fucking crash and burn away, and I want all the currencies to go away. But like, do you know how much death and destruction and how much bullshit will happen because of that?
Yeah, they're going to have less. They're going to have a larger part of a smaller pie, and then they'll have less. But they're too stupid to realize that. Gold bugs right now, right? They think gold's going to hold its value, right? Well, it didn't last time we did this shit. It didn't. It went up a little bit. And then when shit kept crashing, it went down, right? Yeah. And then it stayed down 40% for fucking 12 or 13 fucking years. Didn't help nobody. And they were printing money left and right. They were printing money like you couldn't fucking possibly print it. Gold didn't give a fuck. It's still not at all-time highs. Gold isn't as high as it was in 2011. It's still down. Still down, homies. Your shitcoin, garbage you can't spend anywhere, is still fucking down from 2011. It's 2020 now. How long you want to stay down for? It's dog shit.
Silver too. Same thing with silver.
Yeah, silver actually broke like a couple thousand year peg with its ratio to the dollar. It made new all-time lows. But these motherfuckers holding big buckets of silver with old American coinage, They just don't learn. They don't listen. You're like, hey, you know what, guys? I have an idea. Why don't you buy Berkshire Hathaway, which goes up 20% every year? And if it doesn't crash in the next 5 years, you got double your fucking money. And then you could take that doubled money that you have and go buy whatever the fuck you want with that other half and just leave half in there. Because statistically, these shits crashes happen every 10 years. Now that they're printing their way out of them, maybe they happen every 14 years now. You're better off doing the same fucking thing everyone else is doing and making your mad gains and doubling your money in 5 fucking years than you are hoping for the end. And then it never works out for your bullshit. So right now, okay, you can't get physical gold because the deliveries are all fucked up. So what happens? The premium on these small denomination chump poor people coins, the motherfuckers be trying to collect because they broke, right? So they got their Krugerrands and their Maple Leafs and their fucking Philharmonicers, etc. I used to collect that shit. I used to believe in conspiracies. The reason I know all about how fucking stupid you guys are is because I used to be stupid like that. That's why I'm an expert on it. I got my fish testers that tell me what real coins are and what fake coins are, the test density. I fucking have all the fucking toys. I've been there. Yeah. I've been through Stupidville. I educated myself and got out of it, okay? So you guys are paying premiums on coins right now, all right? When are you going to be able to make your money back on that premium you paid? When shit chills out and people are still eating and still watching cable and still getting free money from the fucking government? You think premium is going to increase and you're going to get more for those coins? When are you planning you'll be able to spend them? When everything's fixed and there's something worth buying. Okay, and how will the premium be when everything's fixed and there's something worth buying? There'll be no fucking premium. So just don't understand why you're doing that shit. Hey, what, like, I just fucking, this ain't the first pandemic. You think they didn't have gold in the like?
It's like they want to go back to barter. Like it's like if I trade like 20 silver coins, I'll be able to buy an acre of land. And like, what, bro? Like, do you know how fucking like I've actually farmed before? It's fucking hard, man. Fuck that, dude. It's damn, dude. I mean, tilling a fucking soil by hand, like fucking growing corn or beans or anything like that, it's not easy. And trust me, like, I'm young and shit. Like, you try doing that shit in your fucking 40s and 50s and stuff all day and night. I mean, there's a reason people had like a fuckload of kids to help them out on the farm because that shit's not easy. And it's a lot of stuff. And waking up early, I mean, like, I don't know.
So let's talk about more of this shit because I like to make fun of you fucking losers, weaker, poor, stupider, uglier losers on the internet. I like fucking with you guys because you deserve it. Not you, those guys. You look all right. Got good pecs, good facial structure.
Thank you, Richard.
My pleasure. Good tan. He's got a good tan. These people on the internet pretend like they're anarchists, pretend like they care about anonymity, pretend like they care about operational security, and they're 100% cosplay, fake as fuck. They post personal details. They choose profile photos that indicate their personality. They're participating in two-way conversations, which, if anyone is watching a range of IPs, they see that those particular IPs are lighting up when this conversation is being interacted in, completely de-anonymizes you. So even if you're behind 7 proxies, which none of these idiots even are, right? So they don't proxy up, they don't VPN up, they use personally identifying language, they use personally identifying photos, they do real-time conversations. They carry a cell phone with them everywhere they go. They leave their fingerprints everywhere they go. They leave their DNA everywhere they go. And they don't even have anything worth stealing anyway. So even the hackers that would care more just to steal your money, these fuckers don't even have enough money to be worth hacking to fucking rob. And so what actually do you have? You have a whole class of people that pretends to have OPSEC, pretends to care about computer security, uses Intel chips with the IMI interface, doesn't use, is totally vulnerable to cold boot attacks, uses low entropy passwords, uses the same password more than one place. They do everything fucking wrong. Everything wrong. But then they say shit like, I'm against government surveillance. No, you're not. You're for government surveillance. As a matter of fact, when ads are put out on YouTube with my face on them, I bet you see them because they know to show them to you. And when ads are put out on Facebook with my face on them, I bet that you see them because they know to show them to you because you ain't anonymous for fucking shit. But you're pretend anonymous, which consumes all your time. And so I ask people, I'm like, listen, all the now I believe in conspiracies. I do believe in them. I believe that Google is a monopoly and not regulated as a fucking, as a utility as they should be. I believe that Facebook's a monopoly and not regulated as a utility as it should be. I believe that YouTube's a monopoly and not regulated as a utility as it should be. I believe that the military-industrial complex makes a whole shitload of money on strife and unhappiness. I know there's a lot of real conspiracies in the world. But these assholes, they're actually on the other sides of these arguments. When you try and say, hey, we need antitrust regulation to break these motherfuckers up so that we can have capitalism, competition again, these scumbags say, hey, no, I don't want any government. I don't want any government. What? That's the only good thing the government can do. You have two enemies. You have the evil company that wants to take all your money and give you the bare minimum return, and you have the evil government that wants to fuck you up too. They're both your enemies. It's just like cops and robbers. Robbers want to rob you. Cops want to give you tickets. Neither one of them is on your team, homie. But if you're getting flanked, okay, and you're being attacked from this side and you attack from this side, the correct military response is to charge into the weaker of the flanks, because you might win that side and be able to turn around and face the other attacker, right? Or continue on your fucking way and evade. But these stupid motherfuckers, what do they want to do? They want to vote against their own interest. A bunch of poor people thinking that they're disgraced millionaires, thinking that one day they'll be millionaires, voting so that millionaires get taxed less. You're like, wow, that's pretty awesome if you're a millionaire. I'm glad these motherfuckers are so stupid that they think they're millionaires too. Nope, yeah. You're not. Like, so, and the same with the security advocates. Do they donate to the Electronic Frontier Foundation, the EFF, that writes toward the gold standard in anonymity? No, they don't do that shit. What they do is post about contrails and motherfucking 5G. Guess what, you fucking losers? If you would save up $5 and send it to the fucking EFF, it could go into actual anonymity software that might actually save your fucking ass. Right? You could donate to the Veracrypt project. You could donate to the EFF. You could, actually work on some crypto anonymity stuff like Tornado.cash, which still needs work to be done on it, right? And there's a lot of other anonymity protocols coming up. There's so many things you guys could do to actually have real power instead of fake power. Look at this conversation I'm having. I'm talking to hundreds of people right now. Why? Because I traded fake security for real power. Now I'm making a difference in the world. I'm speaking at scale. I've done videos that have changed people's lives forever. Forever. Like my Stop Playing Poker videos have changed some lives forever. Well, man, how did I do that? By teaming up with the evil corporations. The evil corporations that are allowing me to talk to you right now. I'm not paying for this. You're not paying for this. The evil corporation is fucking sponsoring us. This shit, I advertised it on YouTube. Didn't put it there because they're terrible. And hopefully they unterrible size themselves at some point. We're on Twitter. We're on Twitch. We're on Periscope. We're on Facebook. All these companies are half evil. All these companies are half evil. Twitch is owned by Amazon. Facebook's owned by Facebook. I don't know who owns Periscope, but I think they're teamed up with Twitter somehow.
Twitter, yeah.
Yeah. So, like, yeah. Now, what are my options? I'll be hardcore, man, and I'll get the fucking phone that doesn't work, but it's open source, and I'll get the computer that barely works, but it's open source. I'll get a Librem 5 phone. But I'll get an old X230 IBM chip that I can put the open source firmware on. It doesn't have IMEI. And, I'll do all these things, and I'll cripple my life up. And in the end, no one was trying to fuck me up anyway. Now, I'm a unique case because, I'm a crypto guy. But for normal human beings that don't speak as outrageously as I do, or aren't public proponents of cryptocurrency like I am, no one gives a fuck about your bullshit. And they already have it anyway. Right? Oh, I don't want them to facially recognize me. Okay, well, you better change the way you walk too, because gait analysis, Google it, G-A-I-T. They can tell who you are from your walk. Okay, so you better walk funny too. And then when they blueprint how your funny walk looks, they're still going to know who you are. And do you turn off your cell phone when you travel? And you turn off the Bluetooth, you turn off the Wi-Fi, you turn off the actual cell signal so they're not triangulating you? You know that shit's all public record. You can subpoena it. You can subpoena everywhere someone has been for the last couple fucking months.
Yeah.
So, like, what is this anonymity that everyone thinks they fucking have? Oh, you know what, man? I run a crypto website, and I see all the email addresses. They're all fucking Gmail email addresses. Guess what, motherfuckers? They read your email. They read your fucking email. When I email you, they fucking read it. What security are you people pretending you fucking have? Go get a Proton mail address. At least they say it's encrypted. Maybe that shit actually works. Maybe. It blows my mind. So I'm sick of the pretenders. I'm sick of the cosplay. I'm sick of the fucking people that trade what they could have with real power, real strength, real teamwork, real progress, being out in the public and fighting a good fight But instead, they put a fucking frog picture or a fucking clown picture as their profile and just be mad and butthurt on the internet and pretend like they care about security and pretend like they care about anonymity and pretend like they care about privacy. It's all fucking pretend. It's pretend. Yeah. They might as well just be bronies. My Little Pony bros.
Oh, the bronies, yes.
Yeah, they might as well be fucking bronies. Because they don't got no goddamn OPSEC. They don't know what the fuck it means. They don't write software. They don't fucking have any strength. They don't have any power. They don't have any teamwork. They're not part of any conspiracies themselves. You know, when you're in a business, that's actually a conspiracy. That's you and a small group of people trying to make a difference, trying to do something, and not letting everyone else know your fucking secrets. You could say to some degree that's what a family is. You could definitely say that's what a team is. When you're on a football team, you letting the other fucking team know what plays you're running? No. You know, you're calling audibles at the fucking line trying to switch it up on them. So y'all need to upgrade your fucking lives. I wrote a couple books on how you could do it. Go, they're free. t.me/Scivive, like survive through science, SCIVIVE. Upgrade your fucking lives. I wrote everything in there that made me great. I retired when I was 21 years old, traveled the fucking world. I've been retired so goddamn long. I founded the number 73 highest market cap cryptocurrency in the world, worth $54 fucking million. That shit's only 3 months old. Imagine where it will be in 6 months. Like,
yeah,
these motherfuckers need to learn.
Stop
hating greatness. Not me, but look, people hate Elon Musk. That motherfucker's got cars that dodge accidents. Quickest, safest car ever created. Dodges accidents for you. People hate him. What the fuck? Rockets that land themselves. They hate him. Bill Gates could be straight just wasting that money on craziness. Could just be like, yo, look, I made a fucking pyramid to myself. He could just go build himself his own fucking pyramid, right? Have his own slaves and shit. He could do that. But instead, he spends all his money saving poor people's lives. They hate him. They hate Bill Gates. They hate fucking Elon Musk. Well, shit, if they hate those guys, they definitely hate me because I ain't doing not a fucking thing close to what any of those guys are doing. All those guys are doing way, way, way more than I will probably ever get done in my life.
Do you think it's just sort of like a jealousy thing?
Yeah, partially, yeah. I mean, look, when I see a motherfucker that's, you know, got a bigger dick and richer and younger and, you know, fucking... If you want to feel hatred, just go on Dan Bilzerian's fucking Instagram. You go on Dan Bilzerian's Instagram. He'll beat your ass. He was in the Navy SEALs, right? He was... He took Bud's training like 3 times. He should have been a Navy SEAL. You know, he got fucked over. Or maybe he wasn't the right kind of team player. But with badassness, you know, he was in there. Man could play poker for real. Mm-hmm. Man could obviously run business for real, right? Man's a better shot. So, like, yeah, if you want to be angry and butthurt about people that got what you don't have, just take a look at Dan Bilzerian. And then here's the best part. When you actually watch an interview with the man, you'll be like, yeah, he's actually pretty cool. You want to hate him. You want to think he's like a big asshole, right? No, he's a pretty cool dude. Like, yeah, everything he says sounds legit. He's not inflating it or bullshitting. He's telling you the truth, you know? You're like, oh, fuck. Yeah, seems like a nice guy.
There's even an Italian version of him. That's like
I've seen that dude, yeah.
Yeah,
I've seen that dude. He's a good dancer.
You saw that? You see the little music video he did with the chicks?
Yeah. I mean, I think he's done a few of them, but I saw the one on a boat. Yeah, that motherfucker's ripped, you know, 6% body fat or some shit. I'm like 60%. Yeah, so now here's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to actually improve people's lives. I want them to realize and be self-aware of what they're doing, give them a better path, hope that they take that path. And I think that if people realize, like if you took somebody, and I've blocked thousands of people, right? Because I would love to insult and ridicule and just stunt on every one of these people individually. But then they become more popular, and the reasonable people get less popular because people see those that I engage with. So I've almost thought of creating an alternate account that doesn't have any followers, hopefully, so that I could crush these fools without making them popular, right? Like an alt account to spread truth without making them popular. But I'm just so fucking busy. I can't, right? Yeah. It's like I got other shit going on. So that's what I want for these people. A lot of these people are smart. A lot of these people have potential. And if they stop being trolls and were constructive instead of destructive, they could achieve great things in their lives. If people would stop reading the news. So here's what I say, like, to people about conspiracy theory. I know about every goddamn conspiracy theory there is. I know Bohemian Grove. I know Trilateral Commission. I know the NWO. I know the fucking Skull and Bones. I know the fucking Bilderbergs. I fucking know every goddamn stupid, retarded shit conspiracy theory there is.
Behold a pale horse. Yeah.
Now,
aliens. Yeah.
What's the maximum profit? What's the maximum profit? What have I got in my life? A coffee, a cheeseburger, $1. What is the maximum profit for me from knowing all that bullshit? Nothing. Nothing. Not a fucking thing. Nothing. Well, goddamn, that seems pretty fucking useless then. That's like knowing which My Little Pony is which color. Basically, it's fucking fan fiction, stupid bullshit, right? So, what's more useful to know? Well, what's better to make your mask out of? A vacuum cleaner bag or a t-shirt or an antimicrobial pillowcase? Well, I know because I read the goddamn chart. And you might know if you follow my tweets because I posted the goddamn chart, right? Is social distancing effective? Yeah, but not as effective as more distance. More distance is the best, I spread this knowledge. I try and make the world a better place. I do have an impact with a lot of people. And I have that by not spending my time trolling the trolls, which I explained to you. I just don't have time for it. I'm busy doing better shit. If you upgrade your life and you choose to do something with your life and you get good at it, by golly, it will consume all your time because you're going to enjoy doing what you're good at. So stop, like let's talk about politics. Oh, let's have a big argument about Republican versus Democrat. Bitch, you ain't getting elected. It don't matter what you do. Your one shitty vote don't matter. Oh, I can influence 10 people. Still don't matter. I can influence 10 times more because I got more money. So go get more money. You want to have influence in politics? Go get more money. Don't learn. Don't even bother fucking learning, right? You're just wasting your time. When is the thing you read in the newspaper that changed what you did with your life? When's the last time your behavior changed from something you read in the newspaper? And if it's never, why the fuck you still reading it, man? Go do some sit-ups. Go fucking do anything else at all. Go do anything else at all except the same things that have shown you no profit and no results in your entire fucking life. Yeah. You'll get more powerful by stopping focusing. You will become more powerful by giving up your anonymity. You will become more powerful. You never had it anyway. You just thought you had it. You're not anonymous. You're not. You're just pretending you are. Give that shit up. Go get a team. Go create something, a business, something to make a fucking difference in the world. And stop pretending. Like, be self-aware, man. I know I'm fat and old, but I know I'm funny and rich, Yeah.
Like, one thing, there's a lot of kids and also people, like, maybe in their mid-30s and stuff, they're still, like...
it's your prime effective age, man. That's when you're most effective, right there.
Like, and then, like, a lot... this is a problem I had when I was a little bit younger and stuff, when I used to play fucking World of Warcraft, and that was a goddamn waste of fucking time.
It'll take your whole life. I did that. I didn't do World of Warcraft, but I got 20,000 hours in StarCraft 2. 20,000 hours. Yeah. That's a lot of hours, brother.
Yeah. Isn't that Predator or something like that?
Yeah, I have a Predator icon.
Yeah.
It's Team. Okay. Team is Predator icon. 1v1 is a different icon. I think it might have been called the Dark Voice.
Like, I played an entire fucking expansion of World of Warcraft, Wrath of Lich King, and then, like, one day I put /played, and then I saw I had one full fucking year of playtime.
Yeah.
On my
character. You just waste your whole life away.
Yeah, it's like, what the fuck am I doing? Yeah.
Bro, if you want to destroy another country, addict their kids to game, get them to stop fucking, right? Reduce their population, reduce their numbers, reduce their creativity, reduce their skill sets. No one creates their own narrative. No one creates their own stories. They just absorb someone else's, right? They absorb someone else's storyline. They absorb someone else's narrative. In this show, I'm setting a fucking narrative, and we're going to think about the thoughts that I bring up. If you're playing a video game, if you're playing World of Warcraft or Destiny or whatever the fuck you're playing, you ain't inventing shit, right? You're just along for the ride, for the most part. I mean, rating's a little bit different, but most things aren't raids, right? Yeah.
There's usually a bunch of older dudes, and they're mad at their life as well too. Like, I was having this problem when I was playing that game, that, like, there was these fucking college dropouts or some dudes that graduated college that are just mad at their life, and they just take it out on a bunch, because, like, the game is either like 35-year-olds or it's 15-year-old kids, and is these fucking, like, these 30.
My dad owns Xbox. He'll ban you.
Yeah. Like, I remember, it was just so fucking crazy. Like, now just thinking back on it, it was like, what the fuck were these dudes doing? These 30-year-old dudes just shitting on 15-year-old kids. Like, and like, you know, like, oh my God. Like, some of the advice they gave me was like some of the most retarded shit. I'm so glad I never listened to them. Like, they were telling me to go, like, I wasn't the best student in the fucking world, but like, if I had listened to them, I would have gone to college and wasted all that fucking time instead of starting a business, which I did, which ended up helping my life. Way better. Yeah. And I hire people too, you know, and I have employees, and it's like,
yeah, agree.
I don't know. It hurts my brain a little bit.
You're still playing a game. Look, we're all still playing games, right? I played the get laid game for a while. I played the get money game. Now I'm trying to play the have impact game, right?
Yeah.
So after Hex, Sci-Vive is the thing, right? I need the world to be working on medical research. I am a rotting sack of meat. I'm going to need medical care soon. I want it to be there when I need it. I want to start getting a year younger every year. I am tired of getting a year older every year. It sucks. I want to die from a fucking accident. I want to die from just rotting and decaying because no one decided to fucking put some money into some shit. We put a lot of money into F1 racing. Robots do a better job driving the cars. We put a lot of money, and they limit the fuck out of them, right? The air restrictions and restrictions they put on these cars, and the aerodynamic. They air restrict the intakes to reduce their horsepower, and they air restrict the aerodynamics so that it's a hamstringed fucking game anyway. So like, why are we watching humans drive hamstrung cars that machines could drive better? It just fell for a trap, right? Like, we want to see people compete. We want to see winners and losers. And then that's just one vehicle to do it with. It just happens to be a retardedly expensive vehicle that consumes a lot of the world's best engineers, right? And let's release those motherfuckers to do something actually good with their lives, right? Because they're not actually, if you want to go faster, take some of the restrictions off and let the engineers go and fucking live better lives, right? There's a real war going on between nature and man. And this last month or two, man is losing it. And it didn't need to be that way. And we could have put 10x or 100x the resources into pandemic prevention, and it would have been a better deal. And we would have made money. And we were warned, right? And there's other shit coming down the pike. Kids will be able to design their own diseases at home soon with DNA synthesis. And instead of doing school shootings, they'll do school fucking plagues. And you ain't going to like that shit. You ain't going to like it one bit. So you better start working on it. And, you know, if you want more privacy, okay, well, why don't we get Tails to be the default OS that gets improved instead of Windows, right? Motherfucker in chat are like, what's Tails? You guys don't know nothing about OPSEC. It's the operating system, Linux distribution that is built for privacy and security from scratch. So it's the most secure operating system that exists. Yeah. I want the world to be a better place. I want to talk shit and work real hard and not go outside to make that happen. And it'd be great if a lot of you guys would help out. And like in this cryptocurrency that I invented, Hex, we have what feels like thousands of people really helping out. Maybe it's like, 100 really awesome guys is what it really is. That are just making videos and making JPEGs and making fucking 3D graphics and everything. The community is doing all that shit. Like, it's so cool that that's just working on its own. Like, I go into chat rooms that I don't even have time to read, and I'm like, wow, look at this shit. Like, fucking building a lot of cool stuff in here.
There's a fuck. Every person I've ever talked to about Hex, like from either the Litecoin community, like Decentraland, or everything else, they're so fucking interested in it. They just like, it's just their head influencer said something bad about it, right? So they believed it, but deep down inside, they're like, yeah, what is it, dude? Like, I haven't heard one person that's just upright, like, fuck that shit. No way. No, I'm not.
Just
that's
use
a bunch
it.
Of bullshit. Yeah.
The people that talk shit about it have never used it. The people that use it are like, damn, look, fast transactions, making money, just sitting stake, fucking not having to. Can't sell the bottom, right? You're like, how many people sold the bottom and wish they hadn't sold it? Lock them up. Okay, can't sell the bottom now. I mean, in theory, you can pay a big-ass penalty and do it. But when you see the wall of shame, you think, I don't want to be on the wall of shame. There's so many good things going on. So many. Like, and what's going on elsewhere in crypto? I don't know. This doesn't seem like much. It really doesn't seem like there's anything else going on. I mean, there was that Steam fork drama. Okay, well, is that progress? Well, not really. Like... It's just fighting the suck.
ZZ buying Coinbase. buying Coinbase or Coin Market Cap. I mean,
Hex is looking forward to being on the front of CoinMarketCap once a few metrics are fixed with centralized exchanges and volume, which I think may already be fixed, and they just need to be noticed that they're fixed. So I'm not going to comment on the CoinMarketCap acquisition.
Got it. Are they counting Uniswap?
Yeah, because we built the ability for them to do it.
Oh, okay, cool.
A lot of good things are happening in open source that don't people realize is actually the fault of Hex. So when when you see Uniswap on Coin Paprika, that's because Hex made it get there. When you see the liquidity depth meter working on Coin Paprika for Uniswap, a free and open source public good, it works because the Hex people made it work there. We have a community member named Firebun that's a really great guy, and he just made it work on his own, right? And he provides the API endpoints that allow the rest of the world to see what the Uniswap price is and what the bid depth is. He's the reason that works. And he's in the Hex chat room, and the reason that he did that is because he wanted it to work for Hex. So good things are happening in open source because Hex is making them happen. People's transactions are going through a faster, more secure network, the Ethereum network, because Hex got tens of thousands of people, well, maybe 14,000 people, to install MetaMask on their fucking device so that now they can get 10-second transactions. Yeah. You ever get a 10-second transaction Bitcoin? Not likely. Not likely. If you did a lot of transactions, you could get one, but it's just a superior. So we're getting more people to pay cheaper fees, have higher throughput, have lower wait times, have less counterparty risk, use Uniswap with no custody and no counterparty risk. Hex is the reason that people are doing that. They weren't getting it done on their own. We're getting it done for them. And we will, no expectations, no forward-looking statements. I wouldn't be surprised if people continue to do stuff because they're in, right? Once you get a bag of Hex and it's locked, you're going to love Hex for a long time to come. Let's do it, right? Yeah. You can't sell your bag and be jaded so easily.
Yeah. I staked for 10, 15 years on some of my Hex and stuff. I think you were the one that said about laddered CDs to look that up, and then I looked that up and everything, and I did a lot of my stakes was from 1 all the way to 10, and then every other week I throw a couple, 11 through 15 years, or the 555, which is a little bit more than 15 years, I think. The maxed out one, the 555 one. Yeah.
I think it might be 14.6, but I'll do the math real quick. I have my better keyboard now, so it's easier for me to type.
Yeah. One big thing.
It's 15.22.
Oh, 15. Yeah. Okay. So it's a little bit more than 15 years. Yeah.
So a lot of people don't realize why you would want to do a 15-year stake instead of a 10-year one when the bonus max is out at 10. It's because when you're at the end of that stake, when you have to restake again, you're going to pay a much higher share price, and you're going to get less shares. And now you're going to have less shares for those remaining 5 years, and your shares is what gives you your profit. The only reason staking Hex is profitable is because you get the shares, and the shares get the penalties and the interest and the inflation. So if you don't stake 15 years or longer than 10 years, then the period of time at which you enjoy those 3x shares, it only lasts 10 years. However, if you do a 15-year stake, the period of time where you enjoy 3x shares is 50% longer. So you end up, I think that you end up being more profitable in Hex by having a 15-year instead of a 10-year stake, even though the share rate caps at 10. Now, for a period of time, I thought it was the other way. I thought maybe the people that were staking longer than 10 years are working for free. But and then it was pointed out to me, I was like, oh yeah, I guess you would have less shares when you're staked, So
when somebody emergency stakes, let's just say you have a 15-year stake. Do you get some of those extra shares in your 15-year stake, or is it only on the day after or the day before that? Let's just say someone emergency stakes today, so the guy that staked yesterday is going to get those shares or that Hex, or does it get distributed evenly?
It's daily
through all the stakes?
It's daily.
It's daily.
Yeah. Okay. So the distribution of the periods at which it is logged the amount of pay that you've received or been credited is daily at what used to be 7 p.m. EST, but I think it's 8 p.m. EST now, I think.
Okay.
So whatever inflation occurred that day, which is maximum 3.69% of all coins that have ever been minted, plus the penalties from late and early end stakes, which is, half of the penalties.
Yeah.
Those are all input and credited daily. So if you stake and have a lot of shares for some period, you will benefit from that period, right? So for instance, there was a time when people were FUDing and they were emergency end staking, and something like they paid like 300 million in penalties, which is a lot, right? Yeah. I mean, the supply was it was a lot, right? So on some days they like doubled the amount of profit for people that were staked that day. Well, once that day's over, if you weren't staked that day, no one else is ever going to benefit from those penalties that were paid out that day.
Yeah.
Right. So you really, if you want to benefit from those events where people emergency unstaking and like doubling your profit on that day, you need to be staked that day.
Yeah, that's why I've always liked to dollar cost average in and just do my stakes daily, just to catch some of those emergency end stakes and everything.
Yeah, that's a hard one. Predicting price in hex is hard because the chart doesn't look like any other chart I've ever seen. So usually what will happen in low market cap charts is that you'll have elevator up, and you'll have stairs up, and then elevator up, and then really steep elevator down, which is a common low market cap chart. And what you saw in hex was elevator up, and then stairs down at a lower inclination, and then elevator up again, and then just like flat. You're just like, I mean, it looks like a Loch Ness monster or a brontosaurus. I mean, I posted some pictures of some different animals that the chart looks like.
A Nessie.
Yeah, it doesn't.
Yeah.
It doesn't look like any other chart, and I believe that's because the market mechanics of Uniswap having an automated market maker, where if someone puts Ethereum in and takes hex out, it moves by the square root. So if you double the amount of Ethereum that's in the pool, and you take out half of the hex, the price moves up 4x. So you doubled the ETH, the price moves up 4x. So right now, since the liquidity is 3 million on the bid side, if you put in $3 million, you 9x the hex price in Ethereum in a single trade. Now maybe people sell back into you, but that didn't happen with the last guy that bought it up. I mean, somebody put 4,000 Ethereum in there, and a big whale from the Ethereum Genesis block, because we did some chain analysis and looked at what was going on, because the price was like it doesn't retrace, right? Like usually when you have these sick pumps, you at least get a retrace and like a bull flag or a bull pennant. This is just not selling it. They're not selling it. And this was during the pandemic. It was like, wow. Yeah. We went up during the pandemic.
Is that also because the ETH stays in the pool?
Exactly. That's what I think.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Because in a normal order book, buyer sends his coins, puts a sell. Buyer puts his money, puts a buy. Seller puts his coins, puts a sell. So we've got an ask and a bid. One of them decides to jump across, pay the bid-ask spread, eat the liquidity out of the other side of the order book, right? Cancels his limit order. Market buys. Now the two parties leave. The guy that had coins now has money, he leaves. The guy that had money now has coins, he leaves. Order book has no record they were ever there except a blip in the price chart and a blip in the volume chart. And that's all that's there. With Uniswap, that guy, the first mover who puts his ETH in, buying, removes the hex, his ETH sits there. And now it's bid support. And unlike the other system where he executed the bid, moved the price up, took his coins off, now there's no bids left. Right? There's no support, there's no liquidity. There's the Ethereum sitting there as liquidity now. And the only people that could remove it are the liquidity providers, and they can not remove one side of it. They have to remove two sides. So if a liquidity provider wanted to remove liquidity, they have to pull hex and ETH at the same time, just the same way they added hex and ETH at the same time, which means liquidity providers can't actually influence the price because they have to add support and resistance at the same exact time. So it's also amazing because there's no asymmetries. There's no holes in the order book where there's like a thinness. It's a constant product market maker. It's really fucking cool. There's always a counterparty to trade against.
Is the version 2.0 out already?
It is.
Uniswap?
Uniswap V2 is out, but it's not audited yet. And I don't think the front end's built for it yet. I mean, I haven't built it and tried doing the beta front end. I saw a directory for one. I'm not even sure what's in there, right? Because I've got other stuff I'm doing. So I haven't had time to mess with that. I've been looking more at margin trading products and open source margin trading. I've been looking more on that end than on the Oracle price setting kind of Uniswap V2 end. It's amazing.
We need a Hexmex.
I've got the domain. I've got hexmex.win.
Oh, nice.
So I think no forward-looking statements, no expectations. Mm-hmm. I would imagine that if there was a hex margin trading product, that would seem like a nice domain for it to go on. Hexmex.win. And hexdex.win right now is the Uniswap front end that talks to the Uniswap contracts.
Yeah.
Lets people run the Uniswap software from their browser. It used to require you to paste in the hex address. That's fixed. It used to suck. Used to be extra tabs. Like there was a send tab that would allow you to send directly from the contract to an exchange, and then the exchanges lose it. A lot of exchanges cannot handle receiving sends from contracts. They need them to be from normal wallets. So that's just not there anymore. So now you don't have that problem with people complaining about their deposit not working. Just make things easier for people, There's no reason. Just take that into your wallet first and then deposit it. We're talking about a penny of transaction fees here, guys.
Yeah. I did have one question about whoever designed the contract for Hex when you're staking. It's so because of Hex, right? It made a lot of people download MetaMask, right?
Yeah.
Which is the main thing most people are probably using. And then from there, I started using MetaMask on some of these other kind of Ethereum games, just kind of check them out and everything. And then I started noticing the huge disparity in fees, like how crazy the fees are on some of these other games. Yeah, it's fucking insane, dude. Like, all right, let me give you a little example. Like I bought like a pumpkin mask in a game or something, right? Which was like 500 mana, and it literally was like the fastest speed was like $1.80 in ETH. I'm like, and then I look at Hex. Even if I'm doing like a million Hex, stake, right? Yeah. It's like what 11 cents for the fastest. Yeah. So it's like, can you explain that a little bit?
Sure. In Ethereum, you pay for storage, you pay for reading from memory, writing to memory. You pay a different gas fee for every type of computation that you're doing, or computing that you're doing, because storage isn't really computation, right? But it is computing. So in Hex, we used bitwise shifts to pack storage into... So, man, this is complicated to explain. So let's take your hard drive, all right? Your hard drive has areas where it can write data.
Okay.
And if you partition those areas to be smaller areas, then it's more efficient with space, because nothing overwrites half of a slot and then has to occupy the whole slot. So imagine that your hard drive is a bunch of cups, and you've got jelly beans, right? And you've got a bag of jelly beans, and you pour it into one cup, but then it overflows a little bit into the next cup. Okay, well now both of those cups had to be used. And now you've got your next Keller of jelly beans, and you don't want to mix the Kellers, so now you take 2 glasses. But if you enlarge your allocation to fit an entire bag of jelly beans at once, well, now you can have 1 Keller, 1 full bag of jelly beans per slot, right? And so how you allocate and partition space can make things have higher throughput or have faster read access. Now, this is a normal hard drive land, right? So when you reformat a hard drive, it asks you, what type of file allocation do you want? 4 kilobytes, which is normal, standard, or you're just storing movies and they're all gigantic? Okay, well then you want to use the largest allocation tables, right? Because there's less waste, right? You don't have little files that are like chipping into the next one and taking up a big slot when they can't even use it. Well, that same dilemma of storage allocation exists in the blockchain as well, where it's infinitely more expensive. Not infinitely, but orders of magnitude, hundreds of times more expensive to store data on the blockchain than it is on a normal hard drive, because it's being replicated over thousands of computers. So we packed all of our storage data into the minimum possible slots, and then used an advanced tactic called bitwise shifts to pack and unpack data into those slots. And we also use a caching layer. So we won't, and this has to do more with gas savings on the computation side. We won't just, a lot of contracts will just, take new data in and then write the data, even if it didn't need to be written, because you could have compared and said, hey, do I really have to write this? Did anything actually change? Right? So we load it into cache. We see if there's actually changes. If there's actually changes, then we pay the high cost to write back to the blockchain. But if it didn't change, then we just let it die off, and we don't have to pay for the write back to the blockchain. So basically, a lot of what our gas efficiency has to do with the caching layer and bit packing. And the vast majority of contracts aren't so advanced to use those tactics.
Yeah.
So that's part of the reason why we're so gas efficient. There's other architectural decisions which are pretty great as well. For instance, using a price, we were able to do exponential interest and compounding interest using a share price formula, which allows us to set one share price, reducing all the future guys, instead of having to write data to amplify the rewards for all the early guys. Infinitely worse, right? Because now we've got to write data to all of those guys to say, hey, you made profit, so here's how the measurements for all your new profit, everybody. Well, instead, we just reduce the new guys with a share price, and it's just way better. There's a lot of really fancy architectural stuff that's in there, and I'm glad you notice it, because when you use other contracts, they're a lot more expensive to run.
Yeah, I mean it's like ridiculously expensive. Especially if you're doing a lot of like I was doing a lot of transactions on the other games and sort of things, because the only other place I see anyone really doing anything is kind of in the video game space, NFT wearables and things in Decentraland, CryptoVoxels, and Sandbox.
Right.
Which are like Atari, basically the gaming side of Ethereum and stuff. But it's getting slowed down now with all this gas fees now, and it's starting to get kind of clogged up now. Where it used to be way cheap, so it's making it harder to buy the cheaper items in the game because the gas fee is higher than what you're paying for the fucking item. So it's kind of de-incentivizing a lot of people to I'd rather not buy this right now because it's I'm literally paying more in gas than what the item costs.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then we're in Hex, right? I do 12 transactions. Right, you send the ETH in, get the Hex out, and then your 10 stakes or whatever stakes you end up doing, and it still doesn't even equal $1 or anything. In Ethereum, right? Where if I were to do 12 transactions in a lot of these other games, it would equal up it would be $5-10 depending on the price of the item. So it's really apparent. It was good. It was really good design.
Yeah, and some of these things might get cheaper. If there's a layer 2 ZK rollup option that can kind of combine some things together, but we're not there yet. That's in the future, maybe a year. What else? Yeah. Somebody asked if you can buy Hex from your phone. Sure. As long as you got Ethereum or USDC or ERC20, you can go to hexdex.win and, transform any of those into Hex instantly, or transform Hex into any of those instantly. You could also go to pumpamentals.com, or I think you've got a referral link, don't you? Let's use yours.
I do. Yeah.
Do you have a name for it?
No, I don't have a name.
You don't have a URL for it? You should get a URL and forward it, man. Just makes it easier to tell people. So pumpamentals.com is mine. I'll post his in the notes. Any referral link is just as good. You get a 10% bonus for minting your own Hex directly out of the contract.
Yeah.
What else? So
lost my train of thought. Jesus Christ.
Well, we were talking about how expensive gas was and why Hex is more efficient. And someone asked if they could get Hex on their cell phone. Now, you can also stake from your phone at go.hex.win. That only works on Android using MetaMask standalone or MetaMask Firefox add-on. It doesn't work on iPhone yet. No expectations. But I'm pretty sure there's someone that's been working on making Hex server-side instead of client-side, and then that'll alleviate a lot of these, wallet interoperability problems. So, wish that was done already, but who knows? Maybe it'll never get done, right? Because no expectations.
Yeah, but I'm just from playing some of these other or just kind of checking out the other communities inside of Ethereum. I'm starting to notice it's starting to get clogged up now, and we're in.
Yeah, price moves make a big effect. If the price moves a lot, people use the the price moves a lot of people need to be liquidated on their margin positions that are on chain, and then people are going to pay high fees to liquidate those, to win the liquidations, because only one person gets to win it. And then so certain network events that cause gas to be more expensive. I don't think people realize how important Hex is. It's, I believe, the #1 financial app by users on the Ethereum network. If it's not #1, it's top 5. But I'm being pretty generous there. I think it's way up there.
Yeah.
Since it's launched, right? Yeah. And we get new unique users every day. So like, it's looking good. Like.
Yeah. I don't see much of the Ethereum community talking about it for some fucking reason, even though we're on everyone's rate.
They hate a little bit. I mean, there are some people in the Ethereum community that respect and like us, and I think there's more people that don't respect and don't like us because they don't understand it, because they go to the website, they see 10,000x, they hit Alt F4, they think they know what's going on, but they don't know what's going on. You got to scroll down. You got to scroll past the marketing hype and see, we do this right. We have 3 audits, an economics audit and 2 security audits. We have no off key, no pause, no humans. Really, truly decentralized finance. We have the #2 liquidity on Uniswap. We have top 100, top probably 75 liquidity of all the cryptocurrencies. We have top 75 market cap of all the cryptocurrencies. But you don't see that if you hit the website, see 10,000x and hit Alt F4. It's like, and then all the fake DeFi that has admin keys and humans behind them, that if the human goes to sleep, it stops working. And I'm raising my hand like, hey, guys, you can actually do this the right way. There's no switch for hexdex.win. There's no off switch. There's no pause switch. And there's no off switch or pause switch for hex.win and go.hex.win. I mean, hex.win, it's just a website, right? But go.hex.win is like, I'm using to represent the contracts on the blockchain. That stuff works the way that it's supposed to work. And then when the big crash happened like a month ago, all these different things had problems, right? Like DAI can't hold its dollar peg. It went up to like $1.30. Now it's like $1.05 or $1.03 or something. Well, it's supposed to be $1. Okay, well, that shit didn't work, did it? Right? And then you see exchanges going down. Hex didn't have any fucking problems. No problems. None. 100% uptime. But you see people high-fiving us and like giving us the respect we deserve? No, that's fine. We'll take it by force. Nope. You guys don't want to give us the respect? We'll take the respect.
Taking our videos down too. I mean, just like constantly, it's just constant shit. But like we're turning the tide. I'm getting more. Like no one. I mean, if people actually learn about Hex and really look into it, they're like, oh, not a scam.
It's not.
You know what I mean? Yeah, it's not. Like, but like it's.
Let's talk about that, right? Exit scam. The Ethereum moved. Ethereum was always supposed to move. You're not supposed to get any benefit from it. Exactly as advertised. Went down under Satoshi. Yeah, what a buying opportunity. Now it's 7 or 8. Yeah. Abandoned. We just had like 10 exchange listings in the last couple of weeks. We had language support. We had fucking like everything's getting better every day. Hex.live launched. Like, so everything I see is getting better every day. The price is going up. What the fuck are you guys talking about? Like, I had this on Hacker News, right? Somebody posted on Hacker News and said, there's somebody in New York, a power company is like mining Bitcoin. And I said, well, hey, the cost to mine an asset trends towards the value of the asset. So if Bitcoin goes up in price 10x because perhaps adoption went up 10x, now you'll have 10x the waste because it's secured by waste. So at some point, if it becomes valuable enough, the pollution will be actually unbearable. And then, got one upvote. That's fine. It's better than no upvotes. It's pretty hard to get upvotes on this particular forum I'm on. It's the world's most technical people. So I'll take one upvote. That's fine with me. Someone posts, and I'm like, listen, disclaimer, I designed a cryptocurrency that pays miners just fees, no block rewards, so they make a lot less money. And, someone posts an article, shit talking. You're like, bro, did you read the article? It's all wrong. They're talking about a price being under a sat. The price is 7 sats. So why are you posting this? It's all wrong. But they don't read, even technically minded people. They just fucking don't read. They're like, Google Hex. It says scam. Scam! Post the scam article full of lies. You're like, damn.
Yeah.
I guess somebody else should post some other articles full of, lies in the positive direction, since you guys fucking just post anything you see. This is hilarious to me.
Well, a lot of these guys are afraid to talk to you, man, because like you destroy everybody. I mean, yeah.
I do have a record of savaging people that take counter positions to me.
Yeah, and
it's easy to do when you're right. What excites you about Hex? Like, what's the next date that you're really looking forward to? I mean, I assume Big Payday, I guess.
Well, of course the Big Payday, but I more or less I always look at the 100, 200 to 300 day, because like if we're looking at the EOS chart and stuff, you started to see like a big uptick, I think, on like day 280 or day 300. Right. Basically the last kind of like the last stretch, the last 3 months or the last 90 days, you start seeing the graph started going like this, and then for some reason it went down, and then there was like a dot over here for some reason.
Yeah,
but like,
it'll be interesting.
I really want to. Yeah. I mean, this is a guesstimation. I can't know. I can't tell the future, but like, it's possible we can get back to 21,000 ETH inside the AA, maybe on those last couple of days, just from people FOMOing in. Like I dollar cost averaged into Hex, but like I still FOMOed like a couple more ETH than I should have on the first fucking day. But
I told everybody. I posted the charts. I was like, "Yo, here's the Ethereum charts." Like, that exact same launch mechanism. Almost exact same.
Do you know how long I was waiting for you to drop? Whoever dropped. Dude, oh my god, man! It was like 4 weeks. 4 weeks.
I waited forever, dude.
I know.
The number of fucking JPEGs that were being posted in my chat about 2 weeks forever, or no, ours was like 4 weeks forever or something. Yeah, right. It was like fucking every week another 4 weeks, dude. It took so long, so fucking long. But hey.
It works.
It happened.
Yeah.
It worked. I mean, it worked better than I even thought it would. Like 100% uptime. Damn. Even the normal website hasn't had a hiccup. What the fuck? That's great. Like, because even normal websites get fucked up sometimes, Yeah. And it's just like, very happy.
What was the original launch date supposed to be? Was it supposed to be like in August, right?
Dude, it was supposed to be like February of 2019.
Oh my god.
Yeah. So it was like. But that's what happened, dude. We went through like 8 devs, man. It was fucking hard. Like, it's so hard because even the stuff that you're working with is undocumented. Like, Solidity is a terrible language, and programming Ethereum sucks. It's really hard and full of dangers, and you can't fuck up. You can't fuck any of it up. So, I mean, I'll put it this way. We gas optimized the contract so that you could do a 50-year stake, and then they changed the game. And they're just like, yo, actually this... Oh, you dropped. You still there?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Okay, you're back. Yeah, your phone blacked. The screen blacked for a second, but it's back. So this sload function that we use to read data or write data, it increased in cost by 4x or 8x or some large number. And we're like, well, that just reduced how long you can stake. So the network changed how long we could stake, and we're like, shit. So that's the game. So this number changes. Okay, well, let's fucking reduce the maximum stake and leave a lot of leeway in there in case that shit happens again. Because it's this art of, are the miners going to change the S-load gas price faster than they increase the block's gas limit? So right now, we've got a lot of leeway so that we're fine, right? But if you didn't know that, and like there's contracts they just murdered. They're just like, yo, these contracts don't work anymore because the network changed. And you should have known that this was going to change. You're like, okay. Right? So like the good thing about Hex is if we get mistreated by anybody, then the community can just change it. We're like, oh, you guys don't want to run it like you used to? All right, well, we turn on our GPUs and now we got our own thing, right? So the community can decide to just fork the network at whatever state it was happy with and then keep running with that network, or it can migrate to a different network. You can have an airdrop and you're like, yo, we're switching to this or we're switching to that. Because we chose the most valuable standard for interoperability between tokens, the ERC20 standard that multiple billion-dollar projects have launched on. TRX, BNB, the majority of USDT transactions, which is the highest volume cryptocurrency. What else? Ethereum itself. It's not really an ERC20, but same network.
Yeah.
We chose the right standard, and now we've got durability because we've got auditors that know what to look out for. We've got tried and true, battle-hardened, trusted stuff that billions and billions of dollars has gone through, and nobody's had a problem. And we've got the ability to rotate onto other stuff. The community could reach consensus and airdrop onto another substrate, the system state, if ever we needed to for any reason. So the correct design decisions. I would love to tell you about some other design decisions I have in my head around margin trading, but I don't want to let the cat out of the bag yet.
Okay.
I figured out some cool stuff. I figured out some very cool stuff. That there's so much open source software in this world that just is slightly wrong. They chose a couple things wrong. If they just did a couple things better, a couple things right, it could be magic. I think I've identified one of those things, that you could tweak a few things and make a few changes and have massive impact and still maintain audit integrity and get to market quick. And I'm excited about it.
Oh, that's cool.
Imagine being able to trade every ERC20 with margin, all of them, including wrapped Bitcoin and wrapped Ethereum. That would be pretty great. I think I have a solution to that in my head. On paper as well.
Yeah.
Because right now you can't. Right now, I'll tell you, right now, if you could trade ERC20s with margin, anyone you wanted, I wouldn't need to be thinking about this shit. Because I would tell people, hey, you want a long hex or short hex? I think you're going to get wrecked. I think you can't predict price that well. I think you should probably just chill and perhaps stake. Not a financial advisor and make your own decisions. But if you do want a margin trade, I would tell people where to do it. And to the best of my knowledge right now, there's nowhere in the world to margin trade hex. You could, in theory, go long hex by taking your Ethereum and borrowing more Ethereum. Does that even work? You need 125% collateral. I don't even think that works. Yeah, I don't know of any way actually to you could encumber assets and get any type of loan that would result in funds that you could then use to buy hex, right? Yeah. But those loans that were functional for that require less than 100% collateral. On cryptocurrency loans, they require more than 100% collateral. So if you've got 100 Ethereum, you can borrow like 80 Ethereum. Right?
Okay, yeah. So they have some leftover just in case you default or something, and then they get their
exactly.
Yeah.
But now you could have bought hex with your 100 Ethereum. Now you still have your 100 locked in their system, and now you have 80 that you didn't have. So in theory, you've got upside appreciation to Ethereum of an extra 80% because you have 80% more than you did, and you're burning the interest rate, which is I think 2.49% for USDC. A little bit more for DAI, I think. And then, but that doesn't help you buy extra hex, right? So what you need is a margin system that lets you, put in hex to get more hex, or put in USDC to get more hex, or put in ETH to get more hex. And then, if price goes up, great for you. Price goes down, you're getting wrecked, right? But if that's what people want to do with their crypto, and they want to play shitmex games, and they want to try and predict price, I'm going to tell you not to do it, but I'm going to hopefully see into the world another platform that allows you less counterparty risk and less exchanges running off with your money and less, begging for your money back from these people and less hacks. And so they'll be doing a behavior which I don't really support, but they'll be doing it with less risk.
Yeah. I mean, like the way a lot of the lending platforms do it right now, I think, at least on Bitcoin, I think it's like, let's just say Bitcoin's $10,000. It's like they'll give you $5,000 of a loan at a low interest rate, and then if of course you don't default or anything, or if you default, they get the money, they get that full Bitcoin, and then they get to spend that off, and that's their profit, right? But a lot of these lending platforms, what I'm scared about is that because like you said, crypto drops like 80-90% all the time, right? So if they lend out at like if they give you $5,000, but then the price of the Bitcoin goes below that, like what incentive does it have to like fucking pay it back? It's like it's worth less than what you let me borrow. You know what I mean? And then like I feel like that's what a lot of these lending platforms are gonna get in trouble. Like some of these rates that that like people are getting on stable coins is like 14% like annualized return or something if you like lend them like
I don't think they're there anymore. I think I know they're that down? I know they're not there because I just quoted you 2.49. So yeah.
Okay, good. Yeah.
So like the rates went down.
Okay.
So like if you hold Ethereum and lend your Ethereum out, you can get like 0.39%. If you hold USDC and lend your USDC out, you can get like maybe 2.6 or 7%. But the other person's paying 2.39. Actually, I guess you get less than 2.39 actually, because that's the end retail cost. And so after the middleman fee, you're probably getting like 2.2 as the actual lender. And this is all figured out in arbitrage. Like there's a lot of people that have engines which look for who's lending at the best rate. There's several projects like that, and the rates have just come down massively. So nobody's paying good interest. Nobody. I don't care who you go to. It could be centralized counterparty. It could be decentralized counterparty. There's no one paying you good interest.
Yeah, I saw this interest maybe like last August. And
they used to be a lot higher.
But this was on some really weird ass fucking like stable coins that they were like people were just like trying to push you to get into. So
that sounds like a scam.
But this is on the major lending platforms. Like I saw, like they were handing sheets out at some of these conferences. Like, I remember going to I forgot what conference I went to.
Well, I mean, I can look this shit up real quick. Like here, give me a second. I'll just actually.
I just wish I could remember what platform it was.
All right, let's take a look. Don't make me connect a wallet. Just show me data, please. Thank you. Okay, here we go, man.
Okay.
This is like number 1 or number 2 highest volume exchange, like on-chain lending platform thing. I think we've got like 60 million under control. Well, 40 million it says right now. If you deposit DAI, 2.4%. If you deposit USDC, 1.6%. 1.7. If you deposit TUSD, 0.76. If you deposit the cryptocurrencies, go to fuck all. Your APY on depositing Ethereum, 0.03%.
Oh my god! Yeah, it was way higher. I know for a fact it was like 3 or 4%.
Sure.
When I last looked at it.
Yeah, this shit used to be a lot higher, but then when people figured out that there was money in it, there's way more people willing to lend their coins they're not doing anything else with, and make anything, than there are people that need to borrow them. And that's the reason it's a bad business model, because since people can't do shit with their crypto anyway, they're just going to sit on it anyway. They'll fucking lend it out for cheap. Now in Hex, it's probably going to be a lot higher to borrow because you could just stake it, and so you've got to get paid more than the stake to lend it out. And so it's in Hex. I think it's going to be more expensive to borrow because they could just stake it, right?
Yeah.
But with Bitcoin, you can't stake that shit. With Ethereum, you can't stake it, which is why the fucking return is only 0.39%. Now this is with a variable rate, or this is if you deposit the money there. If you want to borrow, your fees are higher, and then they make the difference, right? That's their profit. So your cost if you want to borrow DAI is 4%. If you want to borrow USDC, it's 3%. If you want to borrow USDT, it's 4%. If you want to borrow ETH, 0.5%. So.
Damn.
That ain't shit, right?
Yeah.
So like,
so that they did that flash loan, like that one time, like they borrowed, like somebody like did some weird thing where like they borrowed a bunch of Ethereum for like one trade.
Well, it's not a weird thing. It's a new thing.
Yeah, so it's new. It's new to me. Yeah.
So like,
I've never heard of that before.
Uniswap V2 has flash functionality in it, so that you can borrow as much as you want of something at no cost, as long as you pay it all back at the end of the transaction. So if you see an arbitrage opportunity that says, okay, if I had 2,000 ETH, I could buy this to trade it for that, to leverage this, to move that price, and then I get this profit here, and I pay that loan back, it'll loan you as much as you want that it has to offer, right? And it's neat because the lender gets paid instantly. He just gets free money, basically. The people that get fucked on that, no one really gets fucked on it. It's that poor people can now do the same manipulation that rich people used to be able to. Because if you just have a lot of ETH, you don't need to borrow anything from anybody. You just push the price around however the fuck you want and manipulate. And if you manufacture profit out of it somehow, cool. Well, flash loans just allows poor people to manipulate the same way that rich people could have, because they have access to more funds with no collateral, right? And then if it doesn't work out and there was no profit to be made, the transaction just fails. It just doesn't go through, which is kind of neat. So you could actually try a lot of shit and then hope one of it works. And then there's this weird thing where the miners could see that what you're going to do is going to work, and then just copy your transaction and do it before you, and let their block hit before yours. Yeah.
What?
Yeah. It's going to be fucking interesting. It's going to be an interesting war.
Fuck.
Like, yeah, it's going to be real, because we're doing real logic on the blockchain.
Yeah.
There's these interesting things that can happen that you can't happen with on Bitcoin when there's nothing going on. There's no exchange on Bitcoin. There's just dumb token movement. This number goes up, that number goes down. That number goes up, that number goes down. Okay.
This is why I wanted to talk to you, man. Like, this is the sort of shit. Like, what the fuck? That's so crazy.
So, I mean,
sniped.
Well, imagine this. This is going to be funny. Okay. So so Uniswap V2 has flash loan capacity, and it also has time-weighted average, which means it protects margin traders, because someone can't get a flash loan, manipulate the price, get paid, and get the fuck out. Because you use that TWAP, and now you can't shove the price around as long. You got to shove it around for a long period of time, and you think you're a whale. You think you could push the price for 30 minutes. A bigger whale comes along, and he's like, you don't have as much as me. He pushes it the other way. You fucking lose. He wins, right? Yeah. So doing that market manipulation shit is basically like trying to think that you're the biggest whale, right? If you know you're the biggest whale, you probably could manipulate whatever way that you want, right? If it's legal, wherever you live. So if... in Uniswap V1, there is no flash loan capability, and there is also no time-weighted average thing, which means margin trading is more dangerous, which is why you see people that have made, what I would consider to be poorly designed margin products that don't have any concept of time-weighted average price to protect from market manipulation for profit. They get, fucked up. So if flash loans existed on a pair that you traded and you went long and then just flash loaned and bought the price up hard as hell and liquidated all the shorts, it would be interesting, because now, like, well, why didn't the short guys do that first? Yeah. And I think mathematically it's always going to be easier to liquidate shorts than it is to liquidate longs. I think, because you can double the price. Yeah. I mean, it'll be so interesting to look at, right? Like, we're not there yet. I will care more about this once I see Hex margin traded, and then I'll be like, what's going on here, right? Like what is going on here? Are people buying this to dump it? Or are they buying to stake? Like,
I really appreciated how you explained the difference between, longing and shorting, and how shitty shorting is.
In crypto? Suicide.
It's insane. It's insane.
Suicide.
Yeah.
Bro, look at this.
Yeah.
We dropped 60% in Ethereum in like 5 days. Yeah. Price went down to like $80, like 83 or something. Bounced up to 150. Went down to 100. Bounced up to like 130. And now it keeps wicking up. And it looks like we're in an ascending triangle now. On Ethereum, we're not. On Ethereum, we're in like an ascending wedge. But in Bitcoin, we're in an ascending wedge. In Ethereum, we're in an ascending triangle with a flat top on the USD pair. And it's like, where's the rest of the dip? Because you're telling me in a normal market movement, okay, you're going to have a dip, you're going to have a retrace, and then you're due for some 3 moves, 3 drives, some more fucking dump, right?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, to me, this looks like a bullish pattern. From a technical so from a fundamental analysis perspective, I think the world's fucked. From a technical analysis perspective, this looks like a fucking flat top ascending triangle breakout, which is best pattern I know currently. I mean,
do you think it's like anything related to the halvening on Bitcoin? I know Ethereum doesn't have anything just yet.
I think what happened was that the move down was so violent and insane and liquidated everybody that people were forced to sell that didn't want to. And when you think about what happened when we went up to 20K in Bitcoin.
Yeah.
And we fucking dumped. We went down like 44% or 42.7 or something.
Yeah.
And then we bounced and we went up to 16. and then we dumped down to like, I think it was like 13 or 12 or something like that. And then we pumped back to 17 fucking 550. Got everyone long again. It was just a dip, bro. We're going to make new all-time highs. Got everyone long again.
Yeah, yeah.
My gut feeling is that's what we're going to try and play for here with this ascending triangle in ETH. Now, look, not a financial advisor. Don't think you should trade, et cetera, et cetera. But just fucking around looking at charts, which you should never do with your damn time. Waste your life. Unfortunately, I found myself doing it recently for some reason. Not too long, but it doesn't take long to find an ascending triangle.
Yeah. You had a few good calls.
Yeah, I had a lot of good calls. I think that we're going to go up and destroy some of the late shorts and get everyone bullish again. And return to normal, halfening's coming up, and then I think we're going to find new lows. And I think it's just going to replay like the last 20K top replayed. So if you look at it, the 14K top with the Chinese Ponzi bursting and those guys getting arrested.
OneCoin or whatever? Yeah.
Plus token.
Oh, plus
so
token.
The plus token guys with a 14K top. The 20K top, which is just everybody FOMO. So we had 20K top, everybody FOMO, dropped 85%. And we had plus token 14K top, dropped down to 3. I think that's a 65, no more. I think it's a 75% drop. I'll do the math on it actually real quick.
That was pretty crazy. I mean, like, I didn't think I think we touched, 3,800 on this last drop? On some for, a little bit. Like, I was only able to buy some at 4K or whatever, but, yeah, it went pretty low.
3,800 over 14,000. That's a 73% drop. So we did an 85% drop from 20 down to 3. We did a 73% drop from 14 down to 3,800. I think we see that same kind of action play out again until something proves me otherwise. Yeah. I think gold's going to go down. I think Bitcoin's going to go down. I think Ethereum is going to break out and wreck some shorts here, but then go down as people realize we're not going to be out doing the same normal shit in a month. We're not. This is going to be a much longer road than people fucking think. And people, there's people that were found to be healthy and now they're sick again. I think this is a much longer road than motherfuckers want to be realizing. This is going to change shit for a year, minimum, and not change it in a good way. Like, we're fucked for a year. Now, I'm happy to see Hex going up during the pandemic, and I hope it continues to do that. I hope that Hex continues to outperform everything else and go up when everything else is going down. I'd be happy to see that. But all these other things that haven't shown strength, I don't see why the fuck they're going to go up, truthfully. So I mean, what's the bullish case when no one can leave their house, no one has any income, everyone's sucking on the government tit to try and survive, airlines are down, service business is down, restaurants, like it's all fucked. We basically got hit by a global nuke. Like,
yeah,
I don't know what the bullish case there is. I mean, maybe if you were getting the free money from the government, but I'm not getting it. I'm not fucking. Yeah. They're not handing.
It's not even that much. It's not even much money at all. I mean, if we're a small bit, you
2 or 3
could
weeks
get
work.
Business loans. Yeah, I mean that's all it is. It's like $1,200 or something for most people, and it's like I think $10,000 for small business loans or something like that. That's forgivable, but if you get any more after that, it's like you're
going to need a lot more
with interest.
We're going to need a lot more.
Yeah, it's not much.
If you want people to not riot in the fucking streets, you're going to need more. You need to keep the cable television on, keep the electricity on, kill that eviction shit, or you'll get riots of zombie people spread disease. So it's like, unless you want the zombies out there, print the money. You've been printing it for evil. You've been printing it for wars. You've been printing it for military shit. You can print it for the fucking normal people for once. So I'm short-term bullish ETH. ETH's pattern looks a lot better than Bitcoin's, but it's hard to say that ETH is going to go up if Bitcoin doesn't in this environment that we're in. And then I'm happy to see what Hex is doing. Nobody's selling it. The price just fucking, they're just not selling it. Huge pump, they're not selling it. I mean, it's down maybe 7% from the very tip of the pump, maybe 8%. We'll look at that actually. Go to uniswap.hex.vision.
Well, it's because it was designed as a good game, you know. The whole game theory behind it's pretty good, you know. Yeah. So it's like, well, I mean, why sell? I mean, like, you might as well just stake it. Like, what like, if nothing's going on, you might. Yeah.
Let me use the magnet tool in this shit here. Three, 2, 5. To now. It's down 8.57% from its absolute local top. You know, we're talking up a lot of X from the bottom.
Yeah.
Like, where's this here? This chart I'm looking at, I didn't measure the actual bottom. God damn it. I think it's like 8 or 9X or something.
Like the
I think it's like 9X.
You get on like from like day 32 or something like that?
Yeah, this was January 5th. January 5th. So this would have been... That was when we lost the one set. This would have been 81 days ago. 90 days ago. So like, yeah, we're only down 8.6% from the very, very top, which is not even what a normal retrace looks like. We're like not even close to what a normal retrace looks like. What looks bullish to me. And then if we look on the USD pair, which I can type in the top left corner here, uniswap.hex.vision, from the local high, we're talking, Zoom, come on. This is the problem with having a stream-only computer, is it's like, it's not my normal setup.
Yeah.
On the USDC pair, or on the US dollar side, we're down 6.8%. From during the pandemic, man. Like, that is good. Like, you're talking, everything else is wrecked, destroyed. Shit dropped 60%. We're down like 7%. From the top, we went up. Well, everything else went down, we went up. I don't think people understand how good that is.
Yeah.
From March 20th, or from March 12th till now, we went up 3x. That's so good. So good. And that's in dollars, man. Everything else is going down. Hex went up. I guess the design's working. Like, I don't know else how to explain it. I mean, I guess the design's working. And you could look, you could eyeball who this guy is and try and figure it out. Like, we did that, and it's from the Ethereum launch address, like 1,600 days ago. That's where these coins are from, right? They went through like one or two other addresses, and then into Hex. Like, damn, that's awesome. I think he's got like 80,000 ETH to play with. Maybe 60, something like that. You need more guys like that.
Didn't he stake some good amount
Huge
as well?
stakes. Huge stakes.
Yeah.
I think, how long were the stakes? I think he did a 3-year, 5-year, and I think like he did a really long one, I think he might have done a 10-year.
Nice.
I mean, I can look the guy up. Uniswap dot... How am I going to do this?
Isn't there a really big bonus when you have like a... Yeah.
Well, I'd have to actually, to go back that far... So like on pools.fyi, when I click the people's addresses, it doesn't give me their full address for some reason. It's like obfuscated, which is so stupid. Then I could look it up on uniswap.info, but I'm not sure how far back I can go in days on Uniswap info. Like, I might have to go to Etherscan, go to the Uniswap contract, hope that I can sort by transaction size on the Hex pair, and then I'd have the guy. Or I could just look up my tweet, because I did tweet it. I did tweet it. Yeah, this is too time consuming.
That's fine, dude. Don't even worry about it.
Yeah. So when you want to do this in your free time, either find the tweet or go to etherscan.io, look up the Hex Uniswap contract address, or just go to the Hex contract, and then you'll see the Uniswap V1 indicator on the transactions, and then you can click one of those transactions, see what the contract address is. Go to that contract and either scroll back to when you see those big moves happening, date-wise, and then you can find that guy's address and see how long he staked by going to hexinfo.io and pasting his address in the stake thing, and you can see how long his stakes are open for and how many he has and stuff like that. Or I'd probably go to hex.vision as well, and I think he's got like over a billion hex. I think he's got over a billion hex in an address that he's got to stake. So I might be able to sort by largest staker on hex.vision. So hex.vision, click the staking tab. Shows, here's all stakes by expected end time. So these are ordered by daily. So now I'll just order them by stake shares. And I guess that's running, I guess. Oh, but it's only doing it from, no, that's everything. That's the whole time frame. So did I do it right? It says suck to watch me do computing, like when you guys can't see the screen. Sorry about that. Oh wait, no, it's
all good.
It's a million. Yeah, I don't know. I'm on hex stake shares, but it's like not sorting them. Stop sorting?
Do you think that
I don't know why it's not sorting.
Do you think that guesstimation of the total supply at the end of the big payday is still going to be like 600 billion? Or do you think it's
I think it has a minimum. Oh, so I tried to do the math on this, and it's like the big payday. So if more people claim, then everyone makes more money because it inflates the currency, and it rewards the new people, the older people, better than the newer people. So with the stake rate, if no one else staked, or if no one else claimed, and we just had the same numbers that we have now as like a steady state, like no one else claimed, then the supply on just before the end, like the supply just before the big payday hits, should be like 350 billion, something like that.
Okay.
And then the big payday, I think, is like 160 billion or 180 billion, something like that. And then I think you end up in like the low 600s or high 500s for supply.
Oh, okay.
Now, if more people claim, then those numbers will go up because people get paid more through virality and critical mass bonus. The stakers get paid more if more people claim. And another thing is, these coins only get minted at end stake. And people are going to stake long as fuck to get those coins. And so I don't think a lot of these coins are going to see circulation for a long time. So like the actual circulating supply, which is the shit you care about because it could be sold in market, I think is going to be very low. Because people stake for an average of like 1,500 days. I mean, it used to be 1,200, but now when I look at it, hex-data.com, hex-data.com,
30% staked.
Yeah, hex-data.com showing a median stake duration of 725 and an average of 1,519 days. Average stake duration, weighted. That's a long fucking stake. So I mean, if the average stake length's 1,500 days, I mean, you'd have to guesstimate what the stake behavior was, right before big payday. People, maybe a bunch of stakes open for just the day, right? Or maybe maybe people want those 3x extra shares and they open up 10-year stakes. I don't know, right? I don't think anyone knows. Right now it's 27.6% staked. So I think that the total supply, like when I quoted total supply, I was accounting for like, what if we get 50% of people to claim, or what if we get like 40%? And we're sitting at like 1.8%, 1.9% of possible claims. So we're going to have a lower supply, because it's way at the bottom of the range, because it's hard to get people to claim. I mean, we just had, I think we had like 1,000 or something claim 2 days ago. A bunch of free claims came in. So we listed on YoBit, and then I think maybe some whales noticed that, and then I'm just guessing, man. Like there just was a bunch of Bitcoin claims.
I know some guy claimed like 127 Bitcoin or something.
Well, there was like a 900, a 600. I've seen like a couple real big Bitcoin claims day before yesterday. Yeah, this is all on the chart, right? Like you can look at all this stuff. You can see that at hex.vision or hex-data.com or maybe hex.live. You could see it in their feed, and you could see it maybe on hexinfo.io too. Like there's a lot of stats websites where you could see these numbers. We do have the best stats in crypto. Nobody's got better stats than us. that I've seen.
Mm-hmm.
Seriously, like, you go look up all the Bitcoin stats you want. There ain't as many as this. This is so much cooler. Can you look up who referrals are making money in Bitcoin? No. Can you, when people trade in Bitcoin, can you see whether they made or lost money? No. You do that on hexdex.win. Can you see, like how long the stakes are open? Are these people trading that believe in the project, or are they just traders that don't believe and are not staking? You can see all that in Hex. You can't see that in any other project. It's amazing. Like, it's really amazing. I should do some videos where I share my screen and just show these tools. I really should. Because the tools are so good.
You know what I really like about Hex is just the community and stuff. Like, that's always been one thing that was attracting me to certain projects is, it's not a bunch of shitheads in the community. Because, like, there's a if you've been to, like, if you've been to, like, Tron, I mean, I'm not trying to talk shit on some cryptos, but, like, Jesus Christ, bro. It's like, or, like, the XRP fucking bot army. It's like,
bro, I'd ban a lot of people. A lot of people have been banned to curate the community. If you're full of shit, I just ban you. We don't have time for it, man. Right? We used to, when we were first getting started, we would endure the trolls and convert them. And we would convert some. We converted some. But it takes too much time, man. They don't want to listen.
Scrape days?
Well, yeah. I mean, it would be early Hex, maybe first 5 or 6 months, we'd fuck around converting the trolls to be believers. And then after a while, you're just like, you know what? There's too many normal good people in here now that have to endure this suck. So we made our own channel of just people that sucked. It was a terrible experiment. It went poorly. It was just all cancer, pure, horrible cancer. It was like I created my own little mini version of hell. And after I measured the input and output of it, I'm like, yeah, I can go in here and stunt on everybody and make fun of them and shit. Be like, yeah, look at this, look at that, ha, 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 right? But to what end, right? I waste my time. Yeah. They waste their time. Everyone's time is wasted. It's bad for everybody, So it was an experiment. I ran it. I shut it down because they should go live better lives. And I should be working on the positive and not associating with the negative. So, but it was fun to try it because what other project had a person invent something and then open a room just to call him a fat faggot constantly? And that was supported, right? Like that was the core goal of the room, was to personally insult me and anything that I do. And it was, it was fun. It was like, all right, let's see where this goes. It was a fun experiment. It was actually fun. Like I don't mind it, but it's just time consuming, right? So you just got to choose where you spend your time, right? Stop reading the news. You ain't changing your life. Stop learning about politics. You ain't getting elected. Ain't changing your life. Do some shit that could actually change your life. Because life is fleeting, man. Right? Yeah. Like one day you're here, next day you're in a fucking coma on a ventilator, and they unplug you to plug a young person in because we ran out of supplies. That's what's happening right now. That's what's happening in Spain. And that's what will be happening in Sweden soon. That's what's happening in the UK. They're going to unplug the people that are slightly older, and they're going to plug in the people that are slightly younger because their odds are better. And you're going to get killed due to a lack of supplies. That ain't so good, Better to stay at home. Better to stay home away from the disease, where the disease can't kick your door in and fuck with you,
Hey, Richard, I did have a couple last questions because I think my battery's going to die
very
soon.
All right.
Do you, like, I don't know, because I know you're into the, you have the whole sci-fi side and with the book and everything coming out, which I read most of it. I was actually gonna read. I was trying to like actually do like an audiobook on YouTube for it, but goddamn, that's a lot of fucking.
Give that shit up, dude. That's hard.
It was hard, man. Like I tried to do the money one first, and I was like, "Wow, this is gonna take forever."
It's a lot. It's a lot of book. It's a lot of book.
I think I mentioned you a long time ago about doing it.
It's like 475,000 words, I think, or 275, or some huge number of fucking words.
But what's your stance on kids? Because there's a lot of people in the crypto space and other spaces that just like fuck kids, there's that's so stupid. I'm not gonna waste my time doing that. Like we're gonna there's sort of like a defeatist sort of thing where like I'm not gonna bring children into this world, because it's so terrible. But it's like if you look back, it's like every fucking generation going backwards. There's always like the world's so shitty. I shouldn't have kids. It's almost like you're like selecting yourself.
The world's definitely not shitty.
Yeah,
it's a good world.
It's getting better. It's like you're pre-selecting yourself. Like my genes do not get to continue on to the future because I'm a retard. Yeah, but I never hear you talk about kids too much.
Sure,
like, what do you?
That's a great question.
It's a good idea. Yeah.
It's like the armed services. I think you going and defending the country that I live in is an excellent idea. And I think you following the speed limits, excellent idea. And I think you not playing your music loud, excellent idea. And you should have kids too. 18 years before I meet them. So like, I think these are all fabulous things for you.
Yeah.
But for the individual, a lot of these things suck a lot.
Yeah.
And so there's this game where evolution controls what you do through emotion. You justify what you do through logic, but primarily it's all emotion. That's your core reason you do things, right?
Yeah.
So emotion wants you to have kids. It doesn't want you to have kids by wanting to have them. It makes you want to have kids by wanting to fuck.
Yeah.
So it took a shortcut. It's like, it's too hard to get this person to understand why kids are great, so we'll just get them to understand why poking holes with their wiener and things is great, right? So like they just
poking holes in condoms.
Well, they just like, you know, people, we fall for. There's these animals have instincts. If you take a spider and it never met its parents, it'll make the exact same web shape that its parents made. It has genetic memory. It does a thing the same way that which preceded it. Human beings have much less instinct, so little that we don't even call it instinct in sociology. We call it maybe a drive or something, right? Something weaker than an instinct. So we're not that into fire, we're not that into snakes, we're not that into heights. There's some shit we're like slightly afraid of, but not that much, right? So there's these themes that people fall for, right? Like things becoming erect, or things like glistening, or the color red, or these like genres that people use in art and film and in life. Like, why are girls wearing all that red lipstick, right? Why when you look at a lot of Billie Eilish's covers, is she like looking at the side of her eyes and like lips glistening and shit? It's because we are programmed dumbly to understand these general themes that means like fuck. Yeah, let's fuck that, right?
Available.
Something like that, right? Or like inflamed, red, wet, go, right? And then all these, that's literally we're that dumb. Right? Yeah. And some people, you know, they get, so if you're turned on by certain behaviors, they're called kinks. If you're turned on by certain things, they're called fetishes. And you see these types of like, what's a latex fetish? I don't know, stuff looks kind of wet. Okay, so what's like, you know, maybe a bondage fetish should be more advanced because you're looking at power structures and things like that. Yeah. But so what does all this mean? It means that the system is designed to manipulate you into doing things that are good for the system, but may cost you personally. I mean, here's one I came up with recently that's a little fucked up. I don't like it that much, but I think it might be true. A lot of people want to kill themselves. Okay, well, that's not that good. But what if in a limited resource society it is that good? If you do have limited resources and someone knows they suck, maybe the community's better off without the suck, right? And I don't like the sound of that. I don't like the sound of that, particularly me. I'm here fighting for the people on fucking ventilators and such, because I don't believe we're in a limited resource environment like that, right? I don't think in the West that we're dealing with starvation so much. And that's the only way you justify, like, okay, one of us has to die, let it be the unfittest of us, perhaps, right? And truthfully, I don't even think this is accurate from the perspective that a lot of depressed people are the most effective, right? Like the best artists and the best writers. And I'd tell you, I didn't have a happy fucking day today. I was very, very angry today. Don't even know why, truthfully. Don't even know why, but just angry at the fucking world today. Not sure why. Maybe it's because my theory is because people keep being so stupid on Twitter. My theory, but I don't know. Maybe I had a bad dream or something. I don't fucking know. So I don't even think that people should be out there killing themselves and you know, solving temporary problems with permanent solutions. I think the problems will resolve themselves. Life gets better whether you want it to or not. Life just randomly gets better. Even if you fuck everything up, some nice person will smile upon you and hook you up, and life gets better even if you don't deserve it to, a lot of times. So my point is, regarding kids, there's a long fucking answer to whether you should have kids or not. I think kids are fucking terrible. However, once you have them, they become less terrible and you enjoy them because you're good at it. So it's like if you move into a country where you don't like the people eventually you're going to like the people probably because you see different sides of them and it's in your best interest and you have cooperation and it changes you. So kids changes you. So if you're not around kids that much and you see how much work they take and you're like, wow, this is just the same damn game all the time. Like, this is a very slow paced game. How many years until I reach the next level? Right? Like when do I get to start talking about physics with the kid? It's slow paced. It's painful. They will hate you. You'll be lucky if they're even like you. You'll be lucky if they listen to you. You'll be lucky if they have all their fucking arms and legs. It is like, there's a lot of suck there. Now, I hope everyone else endures that suck. I probably, if one of the girls I was with got pregnant, I'd probably keep it and have a kid,
Nice.
Because I'm ready to endure that suck to see where it goes, I guess. But logically, I know it's just a shit show. Now it's less of a shit show if someone else is helping out and taking care of it, and you can still do whatever the fuck you want. You were just like a sperm donor. Okay, well then it's less of a shit show for you. If you're low on cash and you got to pay child support every fucking month, ooh boy, that could be a lot of pain for you. So your financial situation plays into it. How kind you are and able to deal with frustration and not blow up, be violent towards people and such. That's a huge part of it, right? I think some people make better parents. I think some people are better cut out for it. I think some people will have superior offspring, right? There are people that just suck, and there are people that are good. To some degree, I hope that the good people have better kids. So in summary, it's another thing in the game. So like, I'm fat because food tastes good. I'm poorly programmed for the world I live in. I was better programmed for a resource-starved environment where I needed to hoard sugar and carbs and such. Now I'm on the wrong side of that. Kids is kind of the same thing. We need kids. They're important. Someone's got to make them. Why not you? But your local cost is going to be insane. And if you change when you have those kids, and the best thing that ever happened to you, which is what you hear from a lot of these people, and I don't think they're lying, it could be the best thing that ever happened to you. Or it could be the worst. I think it's statistically more likely to be pretty good. And when you're on your deathbed and they're about to unplug your ventilator, what you will have missed, if you have any consciousness left before you depart the world, it's the people. It's not the stuff. So if you really believe that the people are the most important thing in the world and you get lucky and you have a good kid, it's probably the best thing that'll ever happen to you in your life. Probably. If you get the shit end of the stick, though, oh boy. Yep. Kid hates you, drug addict. You sign up to her OnlyFans page.
Oh, no. Come on, dude. That would fucking... Oh, my God. Kill themselves if they found out their fucking daughter or their son was on OnlyFans. Like, Jesus Christ.
You're webcamming with them, and then the camera goes up, and you're like, no! Yeah. So, I mean, the other thing is, I got to tell you, I am not actually the best person to answer this question because I haven't been around kids, man. So, like, I've never changed a diaper. I've spent maybe 5 minutes of my life maybe holding a kid. I'm really not the right guy to answer this particular genre of question. And I'm not I'm not sure my opinion would get so much better if I worked at a daycare or something. I imagine it would get worse. I mean, I watched Kindergarten Cop. Does that qualify me? It's not a tumor. I don't know. Does that qualify me to make these fucking broad statements? Probably not.
I just like asking people this because everyone has such a fucking weird answer when I ask them about kids. Because like some people are like, "Fuck no!" Like, "Oh, I would never have kids in my life and shit." And then like 10 years later, like they got like 3 of them. Like what? Or like or you end up like people. I tend to find that people as they get older, their opinion changes on having kids. Probably because maybe the loneliness starts setting in or something. I don't know. Or maybe like most of the girls do want to have kids, and all the girls that are available to them probably at their later age want to have kids, or maybe they're I don't know. But it's really weird because everyone's in a different cycle in their life depending on their age.
It's like people will tell you when's the right time to have kids. There's never a right time. Like it's always going to be insanely time consuming. It's always going to throw curveballs your way. Particularly, imagine having kids during the pandemic. You can't go outside. Why? You can't go outside. Why? You're just like, oh fuck, why do we have to eat this again? I want to go to get diseased and get hit by a car and die. You're just like constant fucking war. I don't know, man.
There's gonna be an uptick in kids probably with everyone staying home. Probably people just staying home fucking. So there might be like
and domestic violence. I hear
COVID kids.
I hear it's a domestic violence season. Yeah, and I could understand why because imagine people that are barely able to keep their shit together with some distance, being trapped with each other. It's like, we was about like a powder keg before the shit went down. Now it's like fucking, like I don't know. I've always been shocked by these domestic violence stats. You're like, what? Just everyone beats the fuck out of their partner? Is that what's going on? Because that's what the stats say. Like everyone's just putting on their boxing gloves when they get home and pounding their partner out. Like I don't know. Leave the relationship. Yeah. Isn't living on the street better than getting a shit kicked out of you? I don't know. I don't get it.
And that's with like underreported of like guys in abusive relationships where the girls fucking making your life terrible. And of course or like guys don't even say anything just because you look like a fucking pussy if you say like that, like your girl's fucking hitting you or like throwing shit at you all the time. And then there's people stuck in horrible situations where they can't leave the partner because it's like, oh, I'm going to leave my kids with this crazy bitch or something. But like,
I think it might be cultural too. Like I think some.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just can't believe there's that many people beating their partners. I just can't believe it. Like, because you should see more black eyes everywhere. I mean, with the fucking stats that you read, like everyone should have some fucking Fight Club looking shit in public. Like I don't see that many bruised up people. I don't know. The stats seem
maybe they're just counting like phone. Maybe they're just counting phone calls or something. Because like at least here on the West Coast, like if somebody calls the cops because of some kind of abuse or like let's just say like, oh, my husband or someone's hitting me, like even if nothing actually happened, someone has to be carted off to jail or like just the jail for like that night or whatever.
Well, yeah, because it went so many times wrong and there's so many dead bodies. Like if you're a cop, that's the worst call to get. A domestic violence call is the worst call to get because you're most likely to get shot in that call. That's when the shit's going down. Like people are crazy and they're violent in that situation. At least that's what I hear. I've never been a cop, but it's what I hear about it. It's what you see on TV too. Like cops used to have a TV show. I don't know if they still do because I don't watch TV, but I used to watch the cops when they're doing their stuff,
It looks like what cops are doing right now is like they still have that cop format, but they call it like VD or something like that, where like they're live streaming
venereal disease.
It's something like that, but like not venereal disease, but like
interesting.
They're live. Each little section is like there's like a major city, and they're live streaming what they're doing in each department, and they're just jumping from department to department.
Right.
And then everyone's just tuning in to like, there's the local town that's close to me. Let me go see what kind of shitheads and what's going on over there.
I'm from Florida. We got no shortage of shit going down, bro.
Yeah.
Go to floridaman.reddit.com and you're going to learn everything the fuck you want to know about Florida. Ooh, boy.
No, thank you.
You're selling like illegal fireworks out front of a store, and then you just throw a baby alligator inside the window to Burger King, and you're like, that's what you're doing for your Friday nights. There's like, this is so fucking crazy down there, man. Totally crazy.
Yeah. I've heard the stories, and even in like Miami and shit's crazy. Like, did you see that report right there where they actually tracked the information of everyone that went to that spring break in Miami?
Yeah,
and
I saw
they
it.
saw
the
it
phones.
Where in the country? Yeah.
They brought it everywhere. Stupid is as stupid does. It was good talking to you, man. I thought we'd have more conspiracy shit to argue about, but it seems like we're on the same page about a lot of shit.
Yeah, I mean, the main reason I talk about some conspiracy theory stuff is just like they have an opinion, and I just talk to like guests and stuff of what they believe in and stuff. And usually, I feel like people don't truly believe the conspiracies, the really dark rabbit hole ones. Where I think it's almost like sort of like a club with people. Where
if you give me one, why don't we leave off on one? Just give me one.
Okay.
I'll tell you whether I believe it or not.
Shit. Okay. How about the old Bitcoin was started by the fucking CIA and the NSA?
I don't think so.
That old thing where what was it, like Satoshi Nakamoto?
If they started it, they'd want it to spread, right?
Yeah.
Well, they ain't
or
helping.
It's
They're not
it's sort of
helping
like
at all. They're not writing commits. They're not providing developers. They're not getting adoption. So So that's not
no
true.
No funding to Block One. Yeah, yeah.
Well, Block One doesn't have anything to do with Bitcoin. They own a lot of Bitcoin because they sold some ETH for it. But like, I mean, I'll tell you when it was the easiest thing in the world for me to stop believing in conspiracies.
Okay, go ahead.
I volunteered for the SENS Foundation, which is a medical research charity in Cambridge, which I believe has moved now to the United States on the West Coast.
Okay.
I did the video for the event where Ray Kurzweil spoke, and everyone was talking about how to make progress. And I saw Alex Jones do a part talking about how this anti-aging stuff was the Illuminati, and how the global elites were going to live forever and everyone else was going to die and all this shit. And I was at that event, and I shot the video and published the video, as a volunteer, because they ain't got no money. They had no money. They needed money. They didn't have any. And so I'm like, on one hand, I got Alex Jones who talks a lot of shit. I'm like, oh, maybe some of this shit's true. And then he said that the thing I was at and part of and helped make was actually a global conspiracy. I was like, oh, it's all made up. It's all made up. Because there's no way on earth that anyone could ever have come to that conclusion. Because nobody there, I had more money than anyone else there. So like, what are you talking about? I'm the richest guy here. I don't know what the fuck. Well, second richest probably. I was like, wow, it's all bullshit. It's all made up. And there's actually this effect has a name, which I can't remember right now. If you're a leader in any industry and you read any article about your industry, it's always fucking wrong, really wrong. And it turns out that that's the case for all the articles, but you just don't know that because you're not an expert in those other things. It's all wrong, right? So that's when I was like, oh, it's bullshit. It's bullshit. Now, I've been on the other side too, in a company doing things secretively, trying to get to market, not tell other people what's going on, right? And so I've been on both sides of this, right? I've been part of secretive organizations trying to create things in the world, businesses. And I've been, on the other side, falsely accused of being a conspiracy. So I know conspiracies exist, but they're not the stupid shit you're hearing about. People get caught. The price of LCD screens was a conspiracy. Fucking, obviously gasoline prices are a conspiracy. They got meetings full of people trying to control the fucking price. That shit's illegal, by the way, in most countries. You can't do that. Getting a suggested manufacturer's price is barely legal. MSRP as a concept is barely legal. So it's like, do things that benefit your life. Do things that make your life better when you've done doing them. Read a newspaper, shit posting on Twitter with your fucking 20 followers or whatever most people have. That is not doing good for your life. Do things that are good and wholesome for your life. If you like this line of thought and you want to improve your life, you read the book, you like it, t.me/sci-vive. There's another book, second book you might have read it, called Fix the World. Go read the books, and you can scan through them, right? You don't have to read it in a straight line. You can just jump around to different shit that seems interesting. Just flip through pages, see what's interesting to you. It's not linear. You can pick any parts you want. They stand on their own. You don't need to have read any other part for them to be effective for you. You learn how to pee better. You'll learn how to use the toilet better. You'll learn why you have hair in your ass. It's all in the book, for real. It's in there. I think his camera died. I think his phone died. That's what happens if you do a live stream with Richard Hart. Your battery's going to die because I talk forever. All right. Bitcoin, or rather Litecoin Moses, thanks for coming on. All right. Let's see. Let's check chat. Which book? t.me/scivive, like survive through science. SCIVIVE. What other books do I recommend? Awaken the Giant Within from Tony Robbins is pretty great. He's 85% right on everything. Smart dude. Any time prediction for the ETH crash? I think we should go make a new high, fake everyone out. Not a new high, but we already did a 50% retrace basically of the dump. If you're looking at a Fibonacci retracement, And so maybe we do this, the 386 or the 618. I can't remember. I'm not a big fib guy, but up more, right? Maybe just under 200, maybe 190, maybe 185. Just a guess, man. I'm just looking at a descending triangle. Like if Bitcoin takes a shit, maybe that doesn't play out. But I mean, shouldn't we have taken more of a shit already? Like, we just keep making lower highs, so, or higher lows rather. Dom's Crypto says, amazing stream. Keep it up. Thanks, bro. Appreciate you watching. Would you still stand your ground on my Medium article? Yeah, my Ethereum Medium article that I just recently deleted because of questions like that from people that don't understand nuance. Yeah, I said it sucked that they changed the network using a default vote, and now they can't. The world has changed, right? I said it sucked that, you know, everyone's losing so much money. Well, now they're not. We have audited contracts now. The world changed. Like, you have to update your opinion. Any advice on reading through Survive? Actually, no. I mean, I just said it. So, like, do it. Fuck around there. Find a subject you like. What skills do I think anyone under 20 should learn? Google. You got to learn Google Foo. It's in the book. Learn how to Google more effectively. Learn how to use Alt Tab. You know, learn how to use hotkeys. There's no reason for you to be, you know, right-clicking and visually doing shit that you can do quicker. Be as good at Googling and using your computer as you are playing a game. Because this game is going to last a lot longer. This game doesn't change. But VR, guess what? VR's worse. Do you want to do this to use your computer? No, it's fucking terrible. This all sucks. You can do this instead. It's better, you know? So modern computing isn't going to look a lot like today's computing. You're going to be using a mouse and a keyboard for a long fucking time to come. Might as well learn how to use them well. Someone says ETH or BTC, buy right now. First of all, I think you should check out pumpamentals.com since it's beat the living shit out of both of those currencies, murdered them over 2020. Murdered them. 2020, they're down like 30%, and compared to them, like compared to a zero value, they're down like 30% from the start of the year, and Hex is up like 500% or 400%. There's just no comparison. So your question was missing the right answer, which I think is Hex, but not a financial advisor. Do your own research. If you get wrecked, it's your own problem. What else? Yeah, look, I just explained all that, man. I'm bullish on the ascending triangle breakout. I'm bearish until the world can produce GDP again. Doesn't mean bounces are illegal. Still get bounces in a bear market. Strong ones. For the bounce, the pattern in ETH is way better. So the ascending triangle is a superior pattern to a rising wedge, in my opinion. If you believe in chart patterns. I like the streams when Richard talks to Mini Richard. I guess I should turn off my fucking Mini Richard. I never think about that. Hi, Mini Richard. Hello, sir. I look like I'm talking to myself. Richard, you're the best. This is great. I'm easily amused. All right, how do I turn off Mini Richard here? Like that. Nope. How about like that? Nice. Am I having Roger on anytime soon? I don't know. I just had him on like a month ago, man. Maybe a month and 2 weeks ago or something. It's not that long ago. Maybe maximum 2 months, I think. It's my favorite movie. I love Aliens. Aliens is awesome. I think this movie called The Game is also awesome. With, God, I can't remember. Sean Penn and Michael Douglas. Why did I quit YouTube? Because YouTube quit me, bro. They keep deleting my videos. If they delete enough, they ban your channel. So I'd rather not post there not have them delete my videos, and not have them ban the channel, and then my channel will still be there for when hopefully they unscrew themselves and stop deleting every crypto video. So I'm doing the smart and correct thing. Not to mention, perhaps there's new audience out there on these other platforms that wasn't previously exposed to YouTube. If I put a video on YouTube, they're going to delete it. So it's not like I have a real choice here. They're doing this to everyone in crypto. It's not just me. Did Epstein kill himself? No, I don't think he did. Yeah, there's an easy conspiracy to believe in. Like, nope, no, I don't think he did kill himself. If he did kill himself, they let him. So if you're on suicide watch and they watch you commit suicide, that's not what that's supposed to mean. If you use Zoom, I can take video questions to the audience. I don't want to see you ugly motherfuckers. I don't need to see your video to take your question. I can only imagine the amount of cock and balls you guys would be showing me. I'm not interested in that at all. Keep it. I'd have to introduce like a delay to the stream so I could mute your feed when you did something silly. Why did YouTube delete my videos? They're deleting all the crypto people's videos. Literally. So the guy I just had on, he has a YouTube channel. Litecoin Moses, they delete his videos. Hexologist in chat with you guys, they delete his videos. Ivan Attack, they delete his videos. They're deleting everybody's fucking videos. It's a crypto thing. How do we get in contact with Fatality to get him on our show? I don't know. Direct message him, I guess. I've never tried. When will CoinGecko calculate Hex market cap correctly? I'm not sure, actually. I haven't been looking at them. I've just been looking at Coin Paprika. Have I seen Tiger King? I need a tiger. I don't really want a tiger, you know? It's just a big-ass cat. And I don't have a cat, so I'd rather have a cool dog than a tiger. You could work together with a dog. You can't really work together with a tiger for shit. Eventually, it's going to use you as a chew toy, and you ain't going to like that. Not to mention, can you imagine, like, I don't know. Could my mind be changed on a pet tiger? Yeah, maybe I need to understand the tigers better. Like that whole Tiger King movie, it wasn't about the damn tigers. You know, you knew their names in general. You never got to learn one's personality. You know, you never really got to see what it's like to interact with one. From what I've seen, it's a lot of pushing them away so they don't fucking claw you up, is what I've seen. Which doesn't seem like a good relationship to me. You ain't playing fetch. Well, they did throw a tube to it. Any websites you suggest for buying hex ads? Bro, I would like to see some experiments. If you're buying hex ads, I'd like to see some experiments into the general population. We've got an asset here that's going up when everything else is going down, that's shown 10x Bitcoin's returns in the last 80 or 90 days, that's shown, 7 or 8x USD returns in the last 8 or 9 days. Look, man, 700, 800% returns, liquid, that you could sell into, that are real, in the last 70, 80, 90 days. That's damn amazing. Who wouldn't want that? So if the people in crypto are too damn stupid to see mad gains when they're sitting on the chart staring them in the face, let's see what the rest of the world thinks, Plus Token took the Bitcoin price from 3,000 to 14,000, and they were recruiting everybody that wasn't in crypto. Maybe the solution is to recruit people that aren't in crypto. Do you want a 600 or 700% return in a couple months? Okay, well, this did that. You know anything else that did that? That's liquid. You can get in and out. No ML, no KYC. Pretty awesome. What's my thought on the lawsuit against Binance and others? I don't know, man. Pretty hard to sue Binance. I mean, I guess they've got a U.S. division, but it didn't exist when the claims were made. the violations were supposed to have occurred. I don't know, man. It's like lawyers want to make money, right? So if a lawyer thinks he can shake you down and get money out of you, maybe he does it. I don't know what to say. It's like, off the top of my head, I don't know that. I mean, it's a complex situation because the companies that were sued are very dissimilar from each other. And because of that, it's very hard to make sweeping statements as to which ones might have been okay, which ones might not have been, etc. I don't understand how this makes crypto better. If he gets a civil judgment, he ain't going to be able to collect that shit, in my opinion. So I just don't understand how this makes crypto better. Do I have a spiritual practice? Lately, every once in a while, I'll say a prayer for people that I hope survive. I'll do one with you guys right here. Let's do a silent little prayer. Dear God, well, I don't even have to make it silent, right? I just do it public. Now, I don't really believe in God, but I know prayer works, so why not do it? Dear God, I hope all my friends and followers and fans and all the nice people of the world can survive this terrible outbreak and pandemic that's going around. That'd be super. It doesn't take too much time out of your day. If you could help out, that'd be fabulous. Pray in Jesus' name, amen. So, doesn't take much time, and apparently it works, so might as well do it. I think the reason it works is because it makes you focus on what you care about. Like, I actually feel physically, spiritually different after doing that. Maybe it's because I grew up with it. Yeah, I want everyone to do better, and I'm worried about some people. There's people in my chat telling me, if I die, they're in medical practice and they're at a high risk due to viral load of people being around them and due to age, and they're asking me to help their kids with their private keys if they die because, it could happen to them. So I don't like that. I don't like that good people could die from this terrible disease, which could have done so much more to fight. So I'm doing my best to spread the good word, because really, it's probably the best impact I could have right now, Just trying to help people do the right thing, stay safe, and shut down the people that are trying to get them to do the wrong thing. What do I think emerging industries will be after the global downturn? Digital communication, video, software. Amazon's doing great. Shipping's doing great. So things that are remote or shipping based, I think those will do well. Maybe population measurement, thermometers, temperature, forehead thermometers. Yeah. Whatever types of things should be bullish, I think we've been in this downturn long enough that we should have seen bullish movement on them, and you could just kind of look at the list of things that have gone up and just assume that those things may continue to go up. Did I back up all my YouTube videos? Yes, I did, except for one, which someone else backed up and was able to give me a copy. Cliff High is a LARP, yes. He lives in a van down by the river. If you've been in crypto long enough and you live down in a van down by the river, you're stupid. And also people that delete their videos, particularly just the ones that they got bad calls and predicted things wrong, it's scumbaggery. It's no good. Hexologist asked if I saw the thumbnail that he did with me and the tiger. I thought it was hilarious. Hexologist's face and the tiger was goddamn hilarious. And my head size was perfectly put on that picture. It was really, really good. What do I think of hyperinflation due to no money printing? You're not going to get hyperinflation unless the contraction is more than canceled out by the inflation. And right now the contraction is so steep that all the printing they can possibly do is, it's not even making up for how much money's missing. So you're not going to get prices to go up because there's not a bidding war, because there's nobody sitting on a lot of cash. So no bidding war, no price up. It's not happening. Maybe you could get hyperinflation if production took a shit for long enough. Then you could get bidding wars due to lack of supply, but you still need money for a bidding war. I don't know, man. It's just hyperinflation's years out. It's not short term. There are going to be enough healthy people with antibodies that can still produce. We're not going to be on lockdown forever. When will the Hex site get renovated? Maybe never. Or maybe if you throw a really excellent designer and they have a good idea. I don't know. Like, this is the art of the having no expectations game. I can't say that it ever will be renovated. Who knows? Hex has no expectations. It is done, complete project. If it increases in value, it is due to its amazing design, not through the effort of others, not through the work of others. Maybe it's through the work of you. You mint your rewards, you mint your coins, you say nice things about it. Maybe you have a job making it great. Congrats. That being said, I wouldn't mind changing it up just to see, like, A/B test something versus something else. That would be cool. But there's so much other shit that needs to be, like, people have already done Chinese translations that aren't on there. They need to be put on there, you know? It's like, there's some other low-hanging fruit. Buying the tiger is the least costly, then buying the enclosures, fencing, permits, and a vet on call and feeding. This guy sounds like he owns a fucking tiger. Yeah, apparently they're like 60 grand a year to feed, or something like that. Some big number that you wouldn't expect. 60 seems high. Maybe it was 6 grand a month. Fuck, I can't remember. I wish I remembered that number, actually. How tall am I? I'm 6 feet tall. What height would I consider short? You must be a short guy to ask. I'm sorry to hear that. I don't fucking know, dude. Weird question, man. That's a fucking weird one. You manlet. I don't know, man. I've never really thought about that. Peter Schiff says he's only interested in going on channels with 100k subs. I don't give a fuck. He can suck it. Who cares what he wants? He's a shill idiot. When is Hex going to be on Binance? I don't know. Have him at it, dude. Go. Do it. We're a great project. Dedicated community. Progress all the time. Have them at it. People keep talking about centralized exchanges. Crypto was invented to get rid of counterparties. Why are you guys begging to see new counterparties? Like, is this like a proxy in your brain for getting the price to go up somehow? Just because you get listed on exchange doesn't mean price goes up, man. Like, I don't know. You guys suck the centralized teat too much. You should be like asking, hey, when can we get distributed exchange? When can I buy a Hex from my neighbor? Shit like that. Not fucking, when can we get listed on the centralized thing? Crypto was invented to decentralize things, not centralize them. Remove counterparties. Remove risk. Remove the necessity of trust. When can we get Hex face masks and Hex gloves? I haven't even thought about that. That's a pretty cool idea. That's a pretty cool idea. Probably want to turn on hexshirt.com and activate the billing, but I don't know, man. It's like not really the great time to be doing retail. I'm not sure it ever is, but we'll see. If you want to see me destroy a trader, there's a Bitcoin realist versus Bitcoin maximalist debate on Cointelegraph's YouTube channel where I completely annihilate and destroy a person who makes his living pretending to teach people how to trade or teaching people how to pretend to make money or some derivative thereof. He teaches you and you give him money, and then usually I think everyone loses their money after that. That's what I think happens. But I've never heard anyone say they made money with it, so maybe they do and they're just very secretive. I don't think so. How far behind chat am I? About 10 minutes? It's not that bad. What permanent changes in the world as a result of the virus going forward? I think you'll see people take their internal national stockpiles a lot more seriously now that borders have closed and people are restricting certain products from going out that other countries might need. I think you'll see global redundancy and increase in stockpiles of necessary goods, so that during events like this, whether they be war or pandemic or what other type of other terrible things may be happening, the world is more robust. How do I stay so commercially aware? I don't know. I don't know what commercially aware means. I think I'm aware of a lot of stuff. It's probably just because I read all day long. Have I considered a podcast format? Whatever. If you want to rip this and upload it to some audio thing somewhere, have fun. Do we think we'll ever know the true death toll in China? No. I don't. I covered CMC earlier. Buying stock since the dip? I don't know, man. I say wait for more dip, but I think a lot of people just don't realize this shit's real. They just don't understand what's happening. It's denial, in my opinion. Should you have more BDE right now than at any other time? I don't know what the fuck BDE is. What is that? Big dick energy? Ah! Good guess, brain. Good brain. Thank you. Could you do a demo on how to end your stake once the stake has ended? Didn't I do that? I think I did that, man. Go to pumpamentals.com and I think the second video shows you how to end a stake, and yeah, because I time warped forward and stuff. I'm pretty sure second video on pumpamentals.com shows exactly how to end a stake. Somebody says we're getting listed on Hotbit. Yeah, we're already listed on Hotbit. So it's just you can't withdraw for some reason. I don't know why. Apparently the support's looking into it. Will I throw a celebration stream on Big Payday? No expectations, bro. I have no idea. What's a good side hustle for someone that can't code? Google Richard Hart, one way to get rich. I explained to you how I got rich and tell you exactly how to do the same thing. It starts off with selling products shipped that you bought for cheaper from somewhere else. Worked for me. I did it with car stair equipment. You could do it with anything. When am I getting a tanning bed? I could use a tan. That's a good question. This thing's taking a lot of space. Does he get a standing one? He's standing there a while. Thoughts on the coordinated attack on large exchanges? Those exchanges go down so fucking often. Can you really even tell the difference between a coordinated attack and then just sucking? And it's whatever. That game's been the same for 10 or 15 years. DDoS game's been around for a long time. Have you found a cure for cancer yet? No, but I found a cure for skinniness. Does that count? What stocks am I loading up on? Fuck stocks, dude. Crypto craps on stocks. Can Hex make my dick bigger? Depends on when you buy it. Depends on what type of response you have to green candles. I imagine people that have never looked at a price chart are like, what the hell is he talking about? Or if you're in China, their candles are backwards. Red is up and green is down. So, interesting. I imagine some guy getting wrecked in China getting a boner. Damn you, brain. Tigers can get COVID, apparently. That sucks. Tiger King was a good show. Ah, it was a good show. I think that lady killed her husband, too. Pretty shady. Pretty shady. A lot of shade in that community, man. Unbelievable amount. I wonder if that's actionable. I take it back. I don't know if Carol Baskin killed her husband or not, but I will say, God damn, that's a lot of coincidences. You send a letter to the police, it's like, hey, if I disappear, it was her. Include in the will, upon disappearance, which is like not in any will ever. You're like, and then the lady that was the executor of the will was like, oh, look, a document I've never seen before after my office is broken into. And if you were going to drive your truck somewhere and leave it at the airport, would you leave your keys there? Why? What? Why wouldn't you take your keys with you? I don't know. It's a lot of weird shit going on, man. I don't believe any of that. You need an alibi, and your brother, the cop, just happens to give you that alibi that night. Yeah. That's a lot of coincidence. I hope you guys have seen the Tiger King movie, or else you don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. It's on Netflix. It's pretty good. People are crazy as fuck. Beyond. Multiple beyond crazy people. The thing that bothers me is Carol Baskin's current husband seems like a nice guy, if he's still alive. Because you wonder, what is the life expectancy on that guy? Man. How do we get me on Joe Rogan? I have to go on all the other shows Joe watches in order to do that. I don't have time for that shit currently. I'm busy. But I mean, look, I guess if it was easy and it didn't take effort, sure, I would do it. But it takes effort, right? Like, the smaller shows would take effort, and then blah, blah, blah. There's just other stuff that seems easier to me. Or it seems higher hit rate. Because you could spend time in that and just nothing comes of it, right? It's like, the fat old guy, not interested. I don't know. Like, considering your anger day, you seem calm and chilled. Thanks. Maybe I'm just angry on the inside. I don't know. Instead of saying retarded, you should say R-worded. Actually, fuck you. The word retard means slow, which is why you can get drugs that have the word retard written on them. I'm not going to let you motherfuckers take a medical condition and allow it to break an otherwise totally useful, totally good word. Retarded means slow, which is why they used it for people that had learning disabilities. And now, for some reason, you can't use the word retarded anymore because you're not allowed to use the word stupid or idiot anymore. Or are you? So if I can use the word stupid or idiot, why can't I use the word retarded? Because you guys have to make it think that it's a person that's got a learning disability? Fuck you guys. How about you just assume I'm calling someone stupid? And you don't have to assume that I'm ridiculing people that have a disability. You're the people that have a disability for not understanding how I'm using fucking language. Learn how language works, okay? You can't outlaw everyone being mean. You can't outlaw all the fucking mean words. You can't make everyone appear to be fucking evil by calling other people unwise or unintelligent or of inefficient action. You see how shitty all those other words sound? You see how they don't have the impact? You see how calling someone a retard sounds so much more fun and cool than calling them unwise? I don't want to use the word unwise, okay? I want to use the word retard. Fuck you. I call shit gay too. It doesn't mean that it's gay. It doesn't mean homosexual. I'm using the word a different way. You know how the word fuck has like 50 different meanings? Yeah, well, the word gay for me does, and the word retard does too. The fucking language police. What percentage of Bitcoin's lost forever? Probably a lot. What will hex look like in these terms? Well, I'll tell you what. Every hex you see sent directly to the hex contract is permanently locked and never accessible by anyone ever. Don't accidentally send your hex to the hex contract, because that shit is gone. Can't remember how much has been sent there, but I think it's a few million hex. People call me to get some sun. Don't make me change the color on my damn television. Yeah, I don't know. Getting some sun seems less exciting in the pandemic. But I wouldn't mind being a little tanner, yeah. Having any tan at all. Let me rephrase that. I wouldn't mind having any tan at all. I ain't got no damn tan. I cannot believe someone in chat said when distribution. God damn. These bounty hunters be hunting you to the ends of the earth like that movie. I think it was called Never Ending Summer, where that dude's like, $2, give me my $2, and chase that guy to the end of the earth. That's how it feels like with these bounty hunters, man. Holy shit. For any of you bounty hunters watching, go get paid your share of $10,000 US worth of hex that's paid out in a few days by following Richard Hart Win and Hex Crypto on Twitter, liking and retweeting the post, the contest giveaway post. Post your Ethereum address on there and boom, you got your share of 10 grand. Easy fucking money. Last time I tweeted about it, it was like $8 per head. $8.33 last time I looked, but who knows? Maybe it's $5 now. You'd have to do the math. What's my favorite video on Pornhub? I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't really have a favorite. I will tell you, since you guys ask stupid questions, I'll give you a stupid answer. I like it when a girl's having an orgasm and you can see what's going on and there's actual movement, you know? So, if you want to Google orgasmic contractions, pretty fucking cool. Pretty cool. Since you asked. In my experience, if you want to feel that going on in real life, you got to leave your finger out a little bit further. Because it seems like the muscles really get busy on the outside. So, just my experience. Stress food? That's a good question, man. Kind of like everything. Fried food's nice. Burgers are nice. Pizza's nice. They reopened the Carol Baskin case? That would be fucking great. Please make another show. do it. I like how a lady that's like totally against tigers has her own like tiger farm that she sends people to for money and has like her own slave labor and shit. It's like, wow, my God, very interesting. And used to be in the exact same business. It's like making videos. Like, here's how you make pets of these things. What the fuck? What's going on? It's crazy. I shouldn't say that people volunteering are slave labor. They're just illegally paid under minimum wage somehow, magically. I don't know. Maybe it's not illegal. They're paid under minimum wage somehow. Don't know how they manage that. Have you ever talked to fake Satoshi anywhere other than Malta, online or in person? Well, I talked to him in person in Malta and showed what a fraud he was, in my opinion. And then it's also the opinion of the judge in Florida that he falsified all that evidence to. He commented on my blog on Medium, on a post I made called "Yet Another Satoshi Has Not Revealed Himself" post on Medium. That's about it. How do I think Trump is handling the pandemic? I think he was doing terrible when he was just a flu bro. But now that he's decided to listen to the goddamn experts and he's quoting 1.2 to 2.2 million deaths if we didn't do anything, you know, maybe 220,000 if we do all the stuff that we can, those seem like realistic numbers, and he's telling the truth, and he's giving long talks, and he's shutting down travel, and, you know, he seems to be doing everything right that he can now. He fucked it up. He was late and saying stupid shit on TV, and now he's doing the best he can now. So I think he's doing very well now. I think Donald Trump is actually doing a very good job currently on the pandemic. I can be an actor? Thanks, bro. He says I've got the looks. Hey, a compliment on the internet. Thank you, sir. Rare those are. Somebody says I stopped using gay, but retard is definitely one of my favorites. Yeah, like fuck, can we have a couple words that are fun to use? Does not all of the fun have to be sucked out of life by the fucking language police? Is Hex designed to ultimately become the global reserve currency? Kind of. Its design intention was to be the fastest appreciating asset that's ever existed in the history of mankind, which is a pretty ballsy statement. One that you wouldn't really make unless cryptocurrency was already the class of things that can do that. So that was its design intention, is price appreciation. Now, it just so happens that price appreciation in a cryptocurrency is a really useful property to become the global reserve currency. You need a lot more user onboarding, a lot more liquidity, and more throughput. And more throughput we kind of are getting through ZK rollups. So I think you'd still have to do some other stuff in addition to ZK rollups to get like global reserve currency, high throughput, or just do multiple tiers. So yeah, it's in the game. You know, I think I'm biased. I invented it. I think it has better properties to become a global reserve currency than Bitcoin does. I think it's more efficiency as far as waste is concerned. More efficient as far as waste is concerned. I think it has higher throughput. Depends on... Well, it definitely has higher throughput with ZK rollups. So if you've got something that has better properties and better game theory and better incentives, it's just basically the passage of time, right? So like if the rate that Hex can onboard new users at some point exceeds and maintains a rate at which Bitcoin is onboarding the users, then yeah, like I don't think any new global reserve currency. It could do it. It's going to be hard. It's going to take time. I think it's got a better chance than Bitcoin does. Because Bitcoin's been around for 10 years, and what really has changed? This number goes up, that number goes down. That means a transfer has occurred. Okay. Do we have more throughput? Not really. Maybe 40% more throughput. Maybe. Because block size went from 1 megabyte to 1.4 megabyte weighted. And maybe SegWit made the blocks a little more efficient. So maybe you've got like a 1.6, 1.7x throughput increase in 10 fucking years. That ain't good. Do they have increases for throughput? No, they don't. They've got, Schnorr signatures can maybe get them another 10% or something like that. So maybe get like 1.8x from 10 fucking years. There's no solution for throughput. You say Lightning, but Lightning works for everything. You might as well, it's totally unrelated network. It has nothing to do with Bitcoin at all. If it works for Lightning, it'll work. If it works for Bitcoin, it'll work for a ton of other coins as well. And there's less money in Lightning than there is in wrapped Bitcoin in the Ethereum network. There's more Bitcoin economic energy on Ethereum than there is on Tier 2 Bitcoin. So I don't know why I'm even referencing Bitcoin. I mean, the question was Hex designed to be the new global reserve currency? No, it was designed to be the fastest appreciating thing in the world. It just so happens that it may also end up being a very good candidate for global reserve currency if we onboard enough users. Never really thought about this question. It's very interesting because my gut is telling me like this is a very strong statement. You need very strong evidence to support it. And since it's like a leading question, assuming that one, there has to be a global reserve currency that's singular, and two, that something else can be it that's not the dollar. I mean, if everything that people care about is digitized, if it's in the running, man, it's a hard ass question. It's a hard question. I feel like the answer is no, it was not designed to do it. I think we can take a lot of market share. I think we can do better than Bitcoin did. I think we can have a larger market cap than Bitcoin. I think we can onboard more users than Bitcoin, which would give us the most users in crypto. We can do those things. Now the question is, Bitcoin's market cap's what? Like there's 18 million coins. The price is like 7,000 almost. So that's like, I don't know, 150 million coins or something like that. What's 70 million plus 56 million? 126. So it's like 126 billion. Check my math. It's hard to do math on live stream for some reason. So it's about let's call it 130 billion market cap. How close is Bitcoin at 130 billion market cap to being the global reserve currency? It's nothing. It's absolutely nothing. I think Apple has more cash reserves than Bitcoin has market cap. So, yeah, we're a long ways off. Let's go number one cryptocurrency market cap first before we worry about global reserve currency. It's a ways off. Cool question, though. Really made me think. Yeah, it's a lot of thinking. How much money does one need if you're a multi-trillionaire? Why does one need the amount of money? I mean, you can't take it with when you died. Well, Jeff Bezos says the only way to kind of use his money is in space travel. So he's doing space travel. I mean, it's a number for a lot of people. For me, it's a number. My life doesn't change. You seen anything change? This jewelry I'm wearing, same jewelry as I've already had since 2004. None of this is new. This is like the newest thing. And this is not that new. My life doesn't change apparently no matter how much money I have, which is interesting. So I just want to do the best I can. And I want to make a difference in the world. I want to make an impact. And I think for what I want to do, if you want to do a lot of medical research stuff, boy, it's expensive. And if you want to convince other people that medical research is good, boy, it's expensive. So that's kind of the next level for me, is getting more medical research done. For these other folks that get a lot of money and spend on like a yacht, like David Geffen was posting pictures from his like 650-foot yacht or something. First off, that's a lot of feet. I mean, that's so many damn feet. I almost think that I got the number wrong. Let's check that out. $590 million yacht, and it is 400 feet. So, not that bad. Not that bad. $590 million yacht. So I don't know what you do with a yacht that big. Like, you can't have enough friends to fill that fucking thing. It must be all like loose relationships. I don't know, man. Not my thing. Maybe it'd be my thing if I were like convinced into it or something. But yeah, for me, I care about impact and doing the best I can. I can't see how having a 400-foot yacht is even good. Like, now what? You can go to places with worse food. Slowly get there. Maybe you got your own chef on board. Don't you want to try some shit from another chef? I don't know, man. I don't get it. Could you repeat the contest thing? Yeah, go to Hex Crypto Twitter, and there's a contest up top there that's a $10,000 giveaway. 7 days from when the contest was posted, which is maybe 2 days ago. It's just divided up against everyone that follows Richard Hart Win and Hex Crypto and likes and retweets the tweet. I think last looked, it was like 2,800 people that had done it. But you don't know how many of them complied fully with the rules. So we'll see. Somebody says, I would feel governments would not allow Hex to get that important. Yeah, they said that same shit about BitTorrent. They said that same shit about Bitcoin. Bitcoin and BitTorrent are working just fucking fine. So. They won't let, the government won't let it. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, they did. Would I fly to LA to do Joe Rogan? Yes. And buy a yacht for status? I guess. I don't know. Richard, if you're so into longevity and in your book it states that mind over matter thing to lose weight, why do you struggle? I'm a stress eater, man. And I keep doing stressful shit. I'll tell you what, if I had less luck with girls, I would be a lot skinnier. Because that shit makes a difference. But because I'm able to do magical things with whatever the fuck this is, I have less incentive to be fit. So, if the girls want me to be skinny, just make my life harder. I'll get skinnier. Imagine you're in a sinking rowboat surrounded by sharks. How would you survive? Kill the sharks and tie them into a rowboat shape. A rowboat shape? I don't know, man. That's a weird question. $10,000 or 10,000 hex? $10,000 in hex. It's like, I don't know, some number of millions of hex. Let's go look. Let's go look, everybody. We're going to go to hexdex.win. Hexdex.win. And we're going to drop down. We're going to click the arrow, which makes the hex go up top. Actually, we can leave it the way it is, with the hex at the bottom. And we're going to set this little thing up top, this USD thing, USDC, we're going to type. And we're going to put 10,000 in there. Right now, $10,000 is about 20 million hex. So the giveaway, if this ratio is the same when it terminates, is going to be about 20 million hex, which is about 10,000 US dollars. You could trade that in right here on hexdex.win into the stablecoin USDC, and you can go redeem that for money at Coinbase. Have fun. You might even be able to redeem it for money in any exchange that sells dollars for USDC, which is, I believe, a lot of different exchanges. All right. Why is your book in such a shitty format? I don't know, bro, because it was barely edited, and it was something I did in OneNote, and I did it personally. Show me your book, bitch. Show me what format it's in. It's fucking text. What format do you need it in? Read the text, you fag. Do I speak in any languages? I speak Spanish. All right. I caught up with chat. Guys, it was fun. I hope that through my vulgarity and verbosity that I was able to perhaps give you some type of advice or idea that can make your life better. I hope that you take this time that you have with yourself, probably more time than you've had with yourself ever before, due to having your options restricted, to make yourself better. You know, I'm doing my workouts again, and I'm doing it the minute I wake up. The minute I wake up, I'm going to go work out. Why? Because then other shit doesn't get in the way and make it so the workout doesn't happen. And then you feel like you jumped over, you ate the frog, so to speak. You can Google eat the frog. It's kind of cool. You do the hard stuff first, and then you could live happier the rest of the day, knowing that you've already done the hard thing. You feel proud of yourself. You get that momentum to do the next great thing. Yeah, so follow me. Twitch.tv/RichardHartWin. Periscope.tv/RichardHartWin1. Numeral 1 at the end. YouTube.com/RichardHart, although I will not be broadcasting on there until they stop deleting my videos, which will probably be when they stop deleting everyone else in crypto's videos. Facebook.com/RichardHartWin and Facebook.com/HexCrypto, because I post the link to the videos on there. I'm not sure if you guys can even, I don't use Facebook. I don't know if you guys can see these videos. I'm live streaming them, or whether you can chat. I mean, I'm getting chat from Facebook on my little screen here, so apparently somebody on Facebook's watching. I just don't know how the hell they're finding the video. Maybe it's on my Facebook page where I'm like supposedly broadcasting, but I will share this video on the Hex Crypto channel as well. So twitter.com/RichardHartWin, youtube.com/RichardHart, telegram.com, or rather t.me/Scivive for the book, SCIVIVE, like survive through science. t.me/HexCrypto, Hex News, Hex Memes, Hex Trading, Hex Charts, Hex OTC, Hex FUD, Hex AA, Hex Claims, Hex Videos. Oh man, we got a lot of channels on Telegram. We also have Hex Sweden, Hex Russia, Hex Germany, Hex Spanish, Hex Philippines, and there's people in there chatting. Hex France. There's like 30 or 40 people in most of those regional chat rooms. I think Russia's got about 400 now. What else? Free videos, free coins, free books. Pumpamentals.com, free for Bitcoin holders. Free coins, free money. Enjoy it. Hexdex.win, great online non-custodial exchange, which, by the way, you can trade more than Hex there. You can trade ETH versus USDC. You can trade USD versus DAI. You can trade all types of different stuff there. What else? I think that might be it. Free books, free videos, free chats, free damn everything. If you want to donate charity, donate to SENS.org. But actually, because we're going on a pandemic right now, you might want to donate to something that's near or shorter time frame. You can verify you're not getting your money stolen, because a lot of scams. People, when these big global events happen, the scammers pop up. So you got to be really careful where you put your money. There's nothing worse than giving it to a damn scammer. You really want to give it to some place that's going to make an impact. What suggestions do I have for someone that has mastered Photoshop and like to make a living with it? I don't think you have mastered Photoshop. And if you think you have, you go ahead and message me at t.me/Richard Hart and show me what you've done, and I got some ideas. So if you're actually good with Photoshop, you message me. I got some things that need to be Photoshop-a-rude, so you can get some money. All right. That's it, guys. It's really been a pleasure. Stay safe. Stay indoors if you can. Wash your hands a lot. Don't breathe other people's air. If you got to go outside, wear a mask. Any mask will do. You know, obviously better is better, but any mask is better than nothing. A scarf is better than nothing. A t-shirt's better than nothing. What else? Yeah, we'll get through this. And here's the interesting thing that no one tells you. Yeah, everyone's going to be losing money, but the prices of everything's probably going to be coming down too. And so as long as the prices come down faster than you lost money, you actually kind of were ahead of the game. So maybe there's some people out there that will actually be able to afford a house for the first time. Wouldn't that be nice? We'll see. Talk to you later, guys.